GT Radio. Experience ultra high performance.
These are my race treads for when the road ends.
These are my race treads for shredding the slopes.
These are my race treads for setting the hook.
Racetreads.com. Tires for every adventure.
Link ECU, let's get it.
We got the spiciest K-Series built.
Supercharged Ford Eliminator engine.
Oh, good old SR20. Link monsoons. So rowdy.
Naturally aspirated, 1,000 horsepower, LS-based engine. And then we're going to add nitrous on top of it.
Running an S54 controlled by Link ECU. Link direct injection EcoBoost Fox body.
I actually put an FA24 in it.
B58, E46, Link ECU.
No matter what engine you have, it's a stock K24 or it's a 1,000-wheel 2J, Link ECU all day.
Looking for what comes next? For that moment when everything finally...
1 minute!
Whichever path you choose, it starts here.
Need a little help? We got help. Need some advice? We got advice. No matter what you need, we have thousands of professional parts people doing their part to make sure you have it. Exceptional customer service. Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. The professional parts people.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. BC Forged Wheels. Custom built per order, offering extensive design, finish, and machining options. Strength, style, and precision come standard. Track proven, street ready. BC Forged. Proud sponsor of Formula Drift 2025.
Welcome to New Jersey. This is the Gauntlet. The Crazy 8 is about to go down. Ryan Turk, he wants this. Right out of the gate, look at him pulling that front left wheel up. Frederick Osbo bathing in the smoke.
Everything felt awesome.
Forsberg initiates transit. Oh, Robbins goes hard into him, but Forsberg stays in it. Shanahan and Freddie, they bang doors, they bang back wheel. Whoa, buddy. Amanda Sorensen's doing it on her own. He's gonna try to bang the door of the three-time champ. Forsberg giving chase. A little fire.
We're giving it our best, and yeah, delighted to be in the finals.
Finals are here. Send it! Your winner here at E-Town is James Dean. Your points leader gets the win. Look at that. That looks like a beautiful backdrop. This is the Garden State, and this is round 2 of the Link Engine Management ProSpec Championship, the Gauntlet. This is where, you know, the Gauntlet is kind of medieval, right? Like,
oh, big time.
It's a shing, right? So the figure 8 is evil as well. This is a first ever purpose-built drift coliseum here at Englishtown Raceway Park. They have a, you know, they got a road course. This was a drag strip, and now has been completely modified by the Knapp family, utilizing those grandstands, utilizing, you can see the suites behind what was the start line of the drag strip is now playing host to not only a wedding this morning, but also the start line of drifting. We are striping the track, getting it ready for ProSpec. Later on tonight, we will have pro seating brackets, and then obviously we got Friday, we got ProSpec, and then we got pro on Saturday. I'm Jared Dienda. Myself and Matt Sopa will be your tour guide here for ProSpec. Matt, you know, it's hot out there, but not a cloud in the sky. Beautiful wind right now. If you got a little shade, it's very pleasant.
Yeah.
Not as humid as we've seen before, but the elements playing a little bit of a role here. When the sun beats down on you, you know, it's a game of inches. Not talking about your car on the wall, but about the brain matter between your ears. But good to see you again, Matt.
Yeah, it's never bad, Jared. I like. I would almost venture to say it's more humid than Florida was. It was.
Really?
Yeah. Have you been outside?
Yes, I have. I beg to differ. I think it's very inviting. Coming to Jersey. an indicator of that would be walking out of the hotel room. Usually my glasses fog up. They didn't this morning.
Oh, I had it coming out of the booth earlier this morning.
Okay.
So
all right. Well,
we
regardless.
So
neither here nor there. Not a cloud in the sky, and no.
Yeah, we're looking at
precipitation currently.
Yeah, keeping the heads cool in the driver's seat so they can concentrate better in these machines is a very key point in when we're in these summer months.
What are your expectations for PROSPEC? Coming out of round one, Corey Talaska comes out swinging. Just seems like he's got a real dialed focus here. Other notable names, Amanda Sorensen. She got her first ever podium here, second place, first ever female to Formula Drift. Her younger brother, Cam Sorensen, in the building. I believe, are they going against each other? Is what I saw. They could potentially.
I think in the actual bracket, yeah.
Yeah, in the actual bracket. So Cam and Amanda, that will be Friday
tomorrow,
which is going to be amazing. But what's your take on the event? What are your expectations? Who should we watch? Anybody in particular? There was some shakeups regarding Casey Cole and Bystrack.
Yeah. So Casey Cole is in Bystrack's S13 hatch.
What do you think's going to happen there?
I mean, look at him. He's have you ever seen the height and the build difference of those drivers?
Oh, good point.
So I don't know. Hopefully they made some adjustments in the seat.
Indiana Jones. He's going to get some telephone books. He got short round
some
there.
Some pillows. Get some cushions
some
back
blocks
there.
on the pedals.
Yeah. So that'll be interesting because that's going to be our first battle against Jace Havoc here. Checking out our drivers' championship. Leaving Atlanta, we got Corey Talaska leading the pack. Dimitri Brewski second, Cody Buchanan Cannon in third, Josh the Commander Stewart leading fourth, and then Colin Zielinski, rookie this year, in fifth position. Cameron Sorensen, his rookie year, also getting that first place in the seating in Atlanta, holding down sixth place. Human Rahimi, Trevor Root, Adam Knabik, and Nate Chen rounding out the top 10 there. We got Nick Jimenez, he's up and coming. Look after him. Cole Richards, another heavy hitter there. We'll see if he can get some momentum going. Kelsey Rowlings, Lewis Lands, and Matthew Bystrack holding out the top 15 there. So, I feel like there's a lot of sleeper cells, I like to call them. I always call that, like, you never know. Someone can just come out and surprise the hell out of us.
Well, we're only one round in, right?
Yeah.
And I really like the structural breakdown of the points. You win, you move on, you get points. Not, there's a certain amount here in seeding, but then tomorrow it's 10 points a win. You got to win in order to get the points, not just showing up. So, we got rid of basically you win, you get 100 points. It's kind of just out there. Now it's you win, you get 10 points in standard competition. Here, in pre-seeding, you get, I believe it's three points.
And
3 points per victory.
we see in the Pro Championship, that's if heaven forbid any of the big hitters end up in the seeding, those 2-3 points might mean the difference in the championship later on. You never know.
And I would venture to say, and I believe I posed the question to you, Pro or PROSPEC, 8 rounds or 4 rounds, which is harder?
On the wallet, it's harder on the 8-1, but there's so much weight on the 4 rounds.
Yeah.
As far as like points, like if you do have a bad round, that's 25% of your curriculum, I guess you could say.
That's why I think 4 rounds is harder because it's concentrated, right? So and then you got to bring it. Because if you just have one bad event, you only have 3 others. If you have one bad event of 8, you got 7 others.
Yeah, you got some real estate.
And look at the variety we're seeing of victories. From Frederick Osbo, James Dean, and Hiro Manoa, 15 years old.
Insane.
That's in Pro. We're at the halfway point after this weekend.
Yeah.
And here we continue on. We got Seattle, we got Utah. Excited to go back to Long Beach. Obviously, the Shoreline Showdown. This being round 2 of the PROSPEC. Excited to see what this season has in store for us. Just seems to be a lot of buzz. I saw Joey Logano post something up.
Oh, really?
He was coming out here, 3-time NASCAR champion. Joey's going to be in the building later on today.
Big
Excited.
Ford guy.
What's that?
Big Ford guy.
Big Ford guy. Pennzoil. It's great to see him. Just he's not a stranger to driving, obviously, and also drifting. I've seen him drift and do some cool things. But a lot of cool things going down here this weekend. And again, Sopa and myself being your tour guides there. There's Lebo up top, Mr. Lee DuPont up top, the towers, and we have cameras, different locations. We are just in the director's kind of seat there, taking a look at all the different angles. We're going to really try to encapsulate just the progression of it. The Truth Serum, love that they did those.
Yeah.
They posted that one video, the Truth Serum cam, which I thought was really
Look
cool.
At you just coining stuff.
I mean, I would hope something sticks eventually. My kids' names are Parker and Tyson. That's all the naming I need. But I'm really excited. What a great weekend we have in store for us. Matt, you got a smile on your face. One, you're not down sweating on the line like Max right now, but don't worry, you'll be there, buddy.
I get my cut of the weather for sure. It's that start line wall that we're approaching here. You can kind of see in the background behind the tower here. When I went out there the first time, there was like the sun just hit it perfect.
Yeah.
and there was like a sliver of a shadow. I was like, oh, this is neat.
Well, get, umbrellas. If you have umbrellas in the stands, even throughout the weekend, those are watching at home, can't make it out here on, it used to be Casual Friday. Now it's Casual Thursday and Friday, and then going into Saturday. But what do you make of this track? Because it's flat. It's a figure eight. You got some outside zones. Here are our competitors. We'll get into that in a little bit because they're about to roll out. But overall, the track is, I think very, like I said, unassuming. There's no banks. There's outside zones, one inside clip. What are your expectations there?
And I knew you were going to ask me this, and I had a nice answer. When people like start out drifting, you start with a figure eight. That's like one of the first basics. And we're looking at a figure eight track here, but there's also a lot of different elements. When you look at it on 2D or just on paper, it's a figure eight, a couple few zones, finish line, yada yada, but we're crossing over different surface materials. There is a little bit of surface when we cross where that old drag strip is.
Yeah.
Some of the cars, if your suspension is really set up or not, you'll see them porpoise, kind of like old F1 cars from years back that had that issue. But
you mean like 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Many moons ago.
You mean what I know.
Yeah.
So, and the way we got the outer zone set up is really promoting the lead driver to make these wide lines so that we can promote better tandems for the chase driver to give them that opportunity to close that gap. And just like Orlando, it's very simple, but it's also very entertaining and also challenging.
You know what's interesting? I was just having a conversation with Pat Gooden and Cole Richards, and I said, dude, how about Orlando? Yeah. And I think it is because the track is, pretty straightforward, but you're going in, you're like, okay, it's going to be hot, it's going to be this. You're kind of going in, 75% lukewarm, and then you come out, you're like, that was awesome. Because Atlanta, you're like, okay, all the makings of an event, all the killer, the track is dynamic, it's our OG track, and you're kind of like, okay, it was good. We come out of Orlando with kind of new vigor. Because, again, you're going to Top Gun the movie. You're like, all right, I know what to expect. But you're like, damn, that was better than I thought, right? Like, holy cow.
Yeah.
That was Orlando. And I think coming into Jersey, people are like, dude, there's a lot of calamity here. The walls are unforgiving. That outside zone 3, that played a major role a couple of years ago. I remember outside zone 2, hate to pick the scab, Ryan Turp, Brandon Sorensen, that was a big hit. Yep. That was a big one. And again, it's flat. It's 8, but it might not be great to some.
Right.
It might not be the great 8 here.
And one thing to note, little changes from last year. Where we kind of have painted boxes for the inner clips so that we have a little faster practice time and whatnot. But decel zones are in pretty much the same spot. We did extend
momentum zones. Momentum zones.
Okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
The outer zone 2 is extended. The beginning of it extended about 25
it comes
feet.
towards them.
Yeah. So the people talking to the judges at the meeting, they said that the drivers last year that were really nailing the outer zone 2 last year. We're starting where now we have demarked. So that'll be a nice addition to it to see if these guys can put it in the right place.
Well, it's a compliment to those that can actually do it.
Yeah.
Hang it out there. Hang it out to dry, baby, because it's sweaty and ready. That's right. We are here, round 2 of the Link Engine Management PROSPEC Championship. Look at the beautiful backdrop. Welcome back to the Garden State in just a moment. When we come back, our first battle of round 2 and our PROSPEC Championship here at E-Town.
ECU, let's get it.
We got the spiciest K-Series built.
Supercharged Ford Eliminator engine.
Oh, good old SR20. Blink monsoons. So rowdy.
Naturally aspirated, 1,000 horsepower, LS-based engine. And then we're going to add nitrous on top of it.
Running an S54 controlled by Link ECU. Link direct injection EcoBoost Fox body.
I actually put an FA24 in it.
B58, E46, Link ECU.
No matter what engine you have, it's stock K24 or it's a 1,000 wheel 2J. Link ECU all day.
These are my race treads for going the distance.
TiresForEveryAdventure.com. Tires for every adventure.
GT Radio. Experience ultra high performance.
It's a do-rag, not a don't-rag. You know what I'm saying? What's up, fool? That's gonna not make the edit. That escalated really quick. Mustang, unleash! Whoa, whoa. Let's send it! This is Mustang Unleashed. What is that? Well, you get to get a shotgun ride in one of the iconic Ford Mustangs.
Look at Vaughn twisting the screws on James Dean, the four-time champion. They know the car setup. Four Mustangs here at Road Atlanta.
What is Mustang Unleashed? Well, find out at MustangUnleashed.com, where you can get a shotgun ride. Fun thing is, I'm not driving. Still riding shotgun.
Hey, buddy! Oh, hey! Hey, hey! You ready to go for a rip or what?
I heard it's your first time driving a stick.
Yeah, never driven a manual.
Yeah. All right, send it. Yeah! Mustang Unleashed! Look out for falling prices. Factory, right?
Oh, yeah, stop
Factory trip brake.
How's that?
Dude, how good is like FD, Grid Life? You got to rip out there.
Dude, all of it. I'm double duty, dude.
Just like that. Mustang Unleashed. Come out to FD, get a shotgun ride. Whoa, 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 whoa. There you go. See? Children of all ages, yourself included, myself included. Send it.
Be sure to check out every episode of Send It, where we have a good time, just highlighting different experiences, kind of adjacent to the Formula Drift competition, the people, the cars, the vibe, the energy, just different things. So, track is striped, and we are ready to terrorize it. Looks so clean. It's like when you check into the hotel, the sheets are made, the towels are fresh. If you're staying in a nice hotel, you know. I'm not naming names, but I've stayed at some suspect hotels.
Less than stellar.
Like this weekend. A nice hotel. You know, walked in, sheets are made, everything's great. But now we're going to thrash it, baby, like Motley Crue. Kick a hole in the speaker. What are the keys to victory? Open the door, Sopa.
What we're looking for, the judges are looking for, getting back on throttle immediately after initiation, consistently fill all those zones, especially in the start of that OZ2. Reese was really heavy on the drivers this morning on saying, as soon as you enter that OZ2, I want you that thing matted. Oof. And decel after you transition, not before. So we want to see that nice snappy. Use the angle of the car to slow down instead of, handbrake, foot brake.
Reese had his sunglasses on the driver's meet.
He always does.
Just
gangster.
Can't see his eye. I don't know about gangster.
He likes to think so.
Yeah, just
He's
can't
talking
see his
about
eyes.
drugs and stuff.
Can't see into his soul. Those are the soul blockers, blocking out the soul.
All
baby.
right,
Here we go. Our first battle. We got Havoc and Casey Cole. Again, keep in mind, as you said, Casey Cole popped his motor, so borrowing Bystrack's car as Havoc goes in non-stop tuning S chassis and all S chassis battle. Casey Cole drops in. Look at Havoc. You see him dip in, then he comes back out, and unfortunately, looks like Casey Cole does keep that proximity. Doesn't have the angle. Now transitioning past into the killer crossover in that last outside zone, and backing it as Casey Cole gets involved with that dirt. Might have gotten blinded by the smoke. Let's take a look at that overhead shot here. But right out of the gate, you got to wonder where Casey Cole's head is at, driving, again, a fellow competitor's vehicle of Bystrack. But Havoc, good. Could have tidied up elsewhere, but
yeah, Cole's in the S chassis. It's JZ powered as well. Havoc doing a good job of filling out that OZ1. Good transition here, I think, from Cole. He put on the pressure early, but Havoc needed to be deeper in that outer zone too. It gave Cole the opportunity to kind of stick it to him, but he also wasn't perfectly in that pocket. He got a little forward there, as you can see before interclip 3 or interclip 2, and or 1, and we're going through outer zone 3, and Cole takes a bite out of the wall there. Other than that was a decent chase up until it wasn't for Cole. So we got Cole coming out of Florida, Havoc out of Monroe, Washington, and both S chassis. And,
you know, Havoc coming out of Monroe, he drives at arguably one of the best tracks in the Formula Drift Championship. And then Cole, I believe they have a whole compound. Where's it at? Is it in
Oklahoma? Yeah. They're really kind of blowing up the scene over there. I think there's
really
their presence.
Okay, Oklahoma. Here we go. Oh, Casey with an aggressive initiation in the S13. It bites back. It flaps back. Oh,
can't pass there, Havoc.
All right. Yeah, can't park there. Bumpers all over the track, looking like a piñata. An S chassis party.
That's a party I don't want any partake.
No, I'm good. Look like Chelsea Denofa at Le Mans.
That was a good move. He's over here somewhere.
Roll the tape, dude. Roll the tape. Chelsea Denofa at Le Mans in a dark horse shreds his back bumper. What's that?
Just standard drift thing.
So sick. Like such a subtle move. Like it was a wardrobe malfunction that he turned into like a happy accident. Go ahead and take a look. Here we go. Let's run it back.
Look at this aggression from Cole. You know, chassis never driven, or we don't know about the seating position. Tries to continue the run, but then Havoc kind of impedes on his transition there. I think he could have salvaged that run despite it being kind of falling apart for him, but it fully fell apart.
Havoc or
well,
Cole?
Look, I think Cole he didn't spin out. We are 3 tires off his incomplete.
But look at the counter.
He would have been in the grass. He would have been in the weeds, but
he was hanging out way too much. You can't have a good chase run if you don't have a good lead run. And
yeah,
I think he hung it out to dry. That to counter that, like what is Havoc supposed to do? Just like chill, like buffering now?
Very valid. So.
All right. Well, there it is. Looks like Havoc gets the win. He will advance on. Now, let it be known that we did not elaborate too much on this because we know what's at stake here in the seeding brackets, but there are 20 drivers that are pre-seeded given from the previous round of competition, right? Round 1. Now, the other 12 spots are backfilled with the 12 top finishers of the seeding bracket. So, obviously, if you win in the 16 of these seeding brackets, you're locked and loaded. The figure there's 8 there, right? So you get 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So you got 4, and that is pending on the higher seeded drivers, pending the numbers here to move on. So only 12 out of, we literally do have 16 drivers I'm seeing right now if everybody's here. So 4 drivers will be watching from the sidelines tomorrow.
Yeah, I think unfortunately it looks like Cole had a number 16 next to his name, and I don't think he's going to be making that cut after that loss.
Yep. So, oh yeah, that's right. So Casey Cole looks like he'll take the long way home and just be watching from the sidelines. He'll be
helping Stuckey,
cheering on Stuckey in the Pro Championship. There is the double burnout box.
Got Alan Boss, Ferris.
Alan Boss and Ferris. Q.
Ferris Q.
I always butcher his last name. Ferris, a great guy. And as we are getting set for our next battle, welcome our judges back to the building. Reese Marin and Brian Eggert join us the entirety of the season. Now, Vernon Zvanfeld, a very busy man. He's joined us half of this season as Robin Ishida slides into the other half. So, again, Reese, Brian through the entirety. Vern, Big Ern, Ernan and Vernon. That's
you know what I mean, Vern?
You know what I mean? Here we go. Alan Boss. We'll see if he lives up to his name or if Ferris is going to ride that Ferris wheel on downtown. Making my way downtown, walking fast.
Keep it going, Jared.
I'm grasping at branches here. Right now. Michelle Branch, that is.
Yeah.
Here we go. Alan Boss out front. Ferris in the chase position at Corvette. Like a boss initiates the Yeet Fleet. His mom is in his head, literally, because she is her spotter. And look at that, dials it in. Look at that, right in the center of the outside zone. Ferris struggling to stay consistent with Alan Boss now, going over that. That's that inside clip, which is very critical. It's going to say, shoots in the inside. Shuts her down. Boss loses traction and shoots in. Very unfortunate for Boss.
Big
Let's run it back.
Yeah.
Run it back and take a gander.
Yeah, really solid run here for Boss. I like his initiation, a little left foot braking there as Ferris tries to make up some ground in that transition. Does a good job of kind of staying in his lane, but Boss doing a great job of filling that zone too, as Ferris doesn't quite match the angle, sacrificing a little bit to gain that proximity. You kind of see him surging forward as they go past that inner clip. Good proximity there, but Alan just kind of turns the screws a little too tight there and is completely absent in outer zone 3 as they finish out the run, and Ferris, has nothing to do but follow. So now Ferris Q is going to be at the start line, leading Alan Boss. We'll see what he has to offer in that vet with clean air.
All right, line them back up, stack them, rack them, and track them. Ferris Q, Alan Boss. Ferris got the clean air. That beautiful looking Corvette. This gentleman going road racing, set track times, but now it's not about the fast, it's about placement of the vehicle. As Ferris is going off-road, and he is in all the corners of the track, but not exactly where you need to be. Very aggressive. Seems like he might just be maybe just a gear or something, because I feel like he's just throwing down. Whoa, boy! Wow, that was
aggressive.
Epic. Make the highlight reel. No. Look at that. That was insane.
That's just a wrong place, wrong time with the front tires. Just launch that thing.
We have seen that over the years. The bunny hop.
Alan has a reputation of making that thing go airborne. And last year in St. Louis, it was a K-wall incident, but not car-to-car here. So I like the aggression of Ferris. He needed a little more commitment, a little more speed in there. I think he could have pulled that off, but I think he needs a little more foresight looking at these corners. He's trying to throw the car too hard with not enough momentum and to complete that outer zone at that angle that he was looking for. But you can see Boss there making contact and creating not an incomplete on the lead run, but an incomplete on his own chase run. So it'll be interesting to see what the judges kind of think about here as we look at the Air Force replay. As they're outer zone 2 here, as Alan's trying to kind of make up some ground here. A little shaky lead that he's trying to follow here as they get to the inner clip. Good proximity there, but here where it fell apart for Boss. Now, Ferris was where he needed to be.
Yeah.
There's no momentum zones there and whatnot, but both cars made it to the finish line, and
he
mostly one piece.
He lived up to the yeet, dude.
He sure did. He fleeted that thing.
Yeah, he yeeted up the side of Ferris's vehicle. But am I correct in saying, just seemed Ferris was really
a little erratic.
Over.
Yeah, a little erratic, and
I like the aggressiveness, but you gotta keep it within the borders.
But and if you're Alan Boss in that situation, you'd be like, maybe I should just pump the brakes a little bit, literally.
All right, do we have an outcome here? Some mistakes on either side, some really sensational, dynamic, fun driving, but
okay.
And there it is, one more time. I'm definitely going to go to the judge on this one. Alan Boss does get one vote, and that is from Vern, but love to hear from Reese on behalf of the judges as we move on to our next battle. But Reese, one more times. You and Brian sided with the one more time. Vern said Alan Boss, but why the one more time for yourself?
So the one for time for me, I just saw an error in Alan Boss in the lead, and I also saw an error with the Corvette also going to outside zone 3 that I put on him. So the error for him and the error for him in the lead and the error for Alan and Chase. For me, both of them just equaled out to having a one more time battle. Hopefully we'll get a better clean battle and have something that's a little bit more exciting to watch than what we just saw.
Have you or any of the judges spoken with Ferris at all? And again, amazing, grip driver, time attack, all that. Have you talked about drifting at all or anything about his car at all?
I didn't speak to him about it, but I was speaking to his spotter a little bit. And, he's just trying to get acclimated and stuff like that, so just growing pains and things like that. But as with anything else, more seat time, he'll get more acclimated, and we'll see better driving in the future.
Right on. Love it. Thank you for the insight, and thank you for, again, the insight on the actual outcome there. So Shelly Hansen, Carson Ruger as Mrs. Hansen. Great to see her back in the building and behind the wheel. Here we go. Shelly into that first outside zone and dials it in really well in that second outside. Whoa, straight in. And oh my gosh. Let's make sure she's okay.
That was.
Let's make sure she's okay.
Wow.
Let's lay out. And make sure. Look like. Oh, and it's just a rut, and that is. There's such a steep drop off from the asphalt to the dirt, and when you go off the dirt, it could really just obviously be violent. We see that there. Looked like Ruger independently went off, and Shelly in that lead position saw that back right tire, and I bet you it just grabbed and it popped her up.
That's one of those moments you kind of wish your wheel would have broke. That was insane.
I mean, look, you could see, look at, I mean, it looks like a shovel and just a backhoe dug in there.
Just a trench.
Just, boom,
yeah.
Just launched her up. Yeah. Just make sure she's okay. Look at that back right. I mean, the tire debeaded. You can see it. That was, that just dug in. Yeah, that was, let's make sure she's okay. All right, we are getting word on the radio she is okay. So again, just don't want to sensationalize it till we make sure that she is all right. That was so abrupt and, for lack of a better term, violent, unexpected. Yeah. Because you know, again, Ruger in that chase position.
We're kind of looking at him, and then
Carson, and then bang!
All of a sudden, we're seeing the chassis.
But there was no contact between the cars. It was literally just Shelly hitting and just popping up. That was, I mean, it was like a jack in the box. It just sprung up. So let's take a look at this again. Again, she is okay. That's we are re-airing it.
Yeah, she was looking good all in practice. She did a good job that on too. Gets a little heavy. There was contact.
Okay, there was contact, but that shoved her. That shoved her into the dirt more.
Yeah,
so there was contact.
It's really unfortunate.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That was such dumb luck, dude.
Right?
Oh, that's so bad. Oh, it's such dumb luck. So there was contact. Watch Carson.
You don't hear it. Man.
I think they're going to push the car over. Yeah, they very well might. Looks like there's the cool suit tubes. Again, she is, you know, she's on the driver's side, so it's on the side that's closest to the ground. Just want to make sure she's all right. And it looks like we'll. Looks like they're going to push the car over. Oh, there she is. There she is, crawling out. Make some noise for her, if you will. Shelly Hansen stepping out of her vehicle. That is a wild ride.
She's shaking up.
Yeah, she is definitely shaken up. There's her husband, Rudy, giving her a hug. All right, you could see visibly hugs all around for her. There's Carson giving her a hug. Tall gentleman there. He was in the garagistic BMW. You know, not malicious at all. I mean, it was interesting how Carson just shut it down. There's Shelly. See a quick little glimmer of a smile there, so that's a good sign. But that, you know, it's just jarring. It's shocking to your system. Holy cow! I'm jumping. You know.
All of a sudden, you're looking at the ground, like out of your window.
Wow.
Jeez,
wow. So we'll get the cars cleaned up here. Make sure Shelly is okay. I would say that, you know, Shelly has an advantage, Carson, with the contact. He was at fault.
Yeah. I'd agree.
Very, very unfortunate turn of events. And going on the roof, going on the side. Very unfortunate. All right, so again, when we come back, we'll see what goes down here. We'll clean up the track, and we'll continue more with some seating bracket battles here at E-Town.
Racetreads.com. Tires for every adventure.
ECU, let's get it.
We got got the spiciest K-Series built.
Supercharged Ford Eliminator engine.
Oh, good old SR20 Blink monsoons. So rowdy.
Naturally aspirated, 1,000 horsepower, LS-based engine. And then we're gonna add nitrous on top of it.
Running an S54 controlled by Link ECU. Link direct injection EcoBoost Fox body.
I actually put an FA24 in it.
B58, E46, Link ECU.
No matter what engine you have, it's a stock K24 or it's a 1,000-wheel 2J. Link ECU all day.
Welcome back to the streets of Long Beach. Once again, here we are. Cars are staged, the flags are waving, the umbrellas are out, the track is hot, the wind is blowing, and the drivers are ready. He is Chris, the Force, Fort Bird! Force ring applying the pressure outside zone 3. Make some noise for Northern California zone, the beast from the Bay, Matt Vito! Do that first outside zone. That Corvette slides it. Oh! You know him, you love him, Mr. Adam LC! Look at Adam LC in his BMW.
GT Radio. Experience ultra high performance.
As you can see, just flipping Shelly's vehicle. I mean, it seems like it hit and it just landed on side. Didn't even touch the roof.
Yeah,
I mean, stuck the landing on the door.
if you will, yeah. So, yeah, that's one positive thing. I'm sure the car will be all right. Hopefully, Shelly's just shaken up mentally, not physically hurt. Because that's one reason why we have arm restraints in our series. You either run a net, a window, or arm restraints for times like these.
And you can see Shelly out there on the track. That's a good sign.
Oh,
she
yes, yeah.
went to medical. They inspected her and checked her out. Did boom.
And that so another thing, Rome is actually spotting for both drivers.
Yeah.
And he told us when the transition, Ruger at the wheel, he missed the catch. Like in drifting, when you have that self-steer, you kind of catch the steering wheel mid-spin, and he missed it. And that was the result, which none of us expected.
This gets interesting too. Is if Shelly can't complete the second run, but the contact of Ruger taking her out, like there's a scenario that could unfold here.
Yeah, she would have her 10 minutes that we give her for not being at fault in a complete run. She can then take her 5 for a total of 15, and hopefully that's enough to get it back. But we'll see. That thing didn't look very straight, but woof.
Yeah, that's again want to make sure Shelly and Team Hansen are all good. Again, very talented drivers. Have seen her just work feverishly for the team, doing graphics, doing just a lot of things. A very busy gal. My hat's off to her and the team. So you can see not a straight panel on that thing. So now's when the work begins.
And, in reality, it might be just one corner we need to fix as far as suspension-wise.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's Kevin right there with the signature hat. He's competition director. He's been around Formula Drift since day one. He's team manager of multiple championships and has his hand in all things drifting. And we've whittled out some time for him to get his perspective. We call this Kevin's Corner. Let's take a look.
Hi, my name is Kevin Wells, competition director of Formula Drift. We're out here at Orlando Speed World for round 3. There's weather predicted for this weekend, so we'll see how it goes, and hopefully we don't have a lot of oil downs and cleanups. picking up a gigantic oil leak. I don't know if the block blew up or just blew an oil line, but it literally started 3/4 of the way through the bank and all the way past the finish line. Oh, what do you think?
Hey, I'm not leading. I don't give Hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about. I'm just going where he's going.
Just here we are again, same spot.
Let's see. So he's behind the wheel of that one.
Yeah, but it's like in the bash bar. It's probably in the hook on the inside of Federico's wheel.
Okay. And right here, it'll come apart. We have that Sawzall? Yeah. Bring it.
Cut it.
Yeah. Small blade, but yeah, that'll work.
The chase driver still needs to chase the car. If the driver is going offline but staying on track, the chase driver still has a responsibility to chase. Awesome.
There you go. Cool, calm, and collected.
Dude, he's been honest enough because as soon as I got down, he was like, I'm sorry.
They're working on, I think the rear is good now, and they're changing the inner tie rod in the front.
We should have made Kevin's corner in Atlanta. Oh, Gustavo Mielke.
Yeah.
Yo, come on.
Good. Finals, baby. All right.
Come on, dude. What are you doing? It's practice. It's practice. Come on. What are you doing? I'm sorry.
Yeah, just go right there and jump back to the stairs.
Kevin, I'm keeping your block. I'm just kidding. I'll give it back.
For a minute or two.
Okay, deal.
There. Oh, yep. I think it worked. Damn, you're strong, buddy. You want to hop in and hold the brakes? So I wouldn't trust it too much. Oh my. Front wheels come off the ground on the truck?
I don't know if the front wheels came off, but that was like, woo! Sorry. That was like...
No, I know. I was so pissed off. I'm sorry. If you need any help, let me know.
Yeah, you too, man.
Connor's bringing you studs. Okay.
They're already over there.
They're all the same. They're all 10 mils.
Watch it last night.
I think you got it.
Taking the knuckle off?
Yeah, changing the knuckle on the lower. Knuckle on the A-arm. We're not fighting with that bolt. So,
The sore thumb and Dan absolutely bulldozes into the side of the Corvette.
Stay in? Yep. It would probably be a
Yeah, I saw.
Thank you, sir. So I was like, you might want to put your seatbelt on.
All right, you drag it up, I'll do it. Okay. Let me get him.
Yeah, that's nice, Andy. I just want to give you something nice and cool.
Looks like they're damaged. Upper control arm. Swapping it out. Doing little cosmetic fixes. We'll be good to go. He was on one. He was chasing good and just in zone 2 where you're just locked in, floating. He kind of shallowed up to game proximity and smashed it. The front good, you think? Close. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Like a NASCAR driver? Here we go.
Here we go. The clock is
Expeditiously as Rudy now with the clean air. Oh boy, oh, we got wall. We got contact.
Damn, you hurt her a little bit.
Hey, don't blame me.
I don't think we're going to have any time to spare between now and top 16.
We're bringing students back. Yeah, I'm fine. I've definitely had worse, but it kind of sucks when you follow someone right into the wall.
Well, this is the easy side.
Yeah.
A rag? One right here.
Never mind.
Yeah. All right, shim's out.
Settled in, right there, fading to the smoke is back from tire fire early on.
Good night, Orlando.
There it is, little taste of Kevin's corner and his team. Sopa, you were down there. You're on that line. You're seeing a lot of the action of calamity cleanups.
Oh yeah, I seen my friends face down in the muck down there. That's
whew. It's the hurt locker.
little less fires than the year before in Orlando, but yeah, a lot of wrecks, a lot of interesting interlacing of some bash bars. And Orlando is also one of those tracks where, like, all right, we're going to Orlando. It's a little humid, a little hot. The track's simple, but it's always entertaining.
As I always say, never always good stories never end with then we went home and went to bed. they always have sensational moments like that. So so the interesting thing here about, we're talking about Shelley and Ruger, talking about Carson, the contact there between them, and then Shelley going on the side. That brings up the topic of fault, progression of competition, and contact with an incomplete, because that talks about, you know, basically hands on the car, who could, you know, have a competition timeout with no, you know, repercussions, or what times. What have you deduced taking a look at the rule book, Matt?
Well, it looks like if she can't get back to the line, and since she wasn't at fault, she'll actually be declared the winner, but then won't be able to go on in the competition.
She would advance further than that.
Correct.
Further than and then also let that be said that if Shelley does move on, that would mean she is in tomorrow's main event.
Correct.
Which is good for her, even though she couldn't advance, because again, she'd move on to 8. But speaking of advancing, let's advance on into or digress back to the one more time battle between Boss and Ferris. Tommy into that second outside zone, but Boss dials it in. Looks like Ferris now in the chase position, kicking back just a little bit. Now we got some separation between Boss and Ferris. And that last outside zone brings it across. Seems like maybe got the nerves out of the way on that first battle.
Like, he lost a fender, but he got his nerve back. So here we go. Island Boss doing a good job straight up initiation. A little left foot break in there, and Ferris trying to make up some ground there. Kind of overshoots the transition here as they get into outer zone 2. And Boss is doing a good job of keeping his composure there. Not a lot of wavering on in the outer zone 2 there as Ferris puts on the pressure there. Could have anticipated that transition just a little better, but Boss doing a great job keeping his composure out front, pretending like Ferris isn't even back there. Right. Now we're going to reverse him. Let Ferris get the clean air in that Corvette that's missing a fender now and bumper and some other pieces, I'm sure, and let him see what he's show us what he's got.
Show me what you got, Alan Boss. Ferris will now lead. Ferris leading, Boss giving chase. All right, there's a Fuel Lab Corvette coming to that first outside zone. A lot more dial, more precision here in this second run. Boss throwing some crazy angles at it. Ferris keeps it composed. Like I said, seat time. Ferris goes off course. Dirt goes flying up. That disrupts the attitude of the car. Definitely want to see the Truth Serum camera, the overhead perspective into that last outside zone. He does salvage it. Nice job there. Now let's see, again, that second outside zone on the portion with it being so big. Shoot. Almost 180 degrees.
I thought the run was over. No, we're still cooking.
Oh, yeah.
So here we go. He, a little fancier initiation. He does a good job. Alan showing that temper in that transition. That's what we wanted to see. He even exceeded the angle of the lead car, which is fairly rare when you think about it. And there we go. He's way off, almost 3 off there. Alan doing a great job of following him, but not too far into that wall. Kind of shows the experience of Boss in these situations over Ferris here. But we got two complete runs out of this deal, and now it's up to the judges to see who's moving on.
I think first run jitters is out of the way there, so that was really really good. A lot more refined run on both sides of the lane here.
Yeah, that was like the epitome of just kind of a mulligan.
Yeah. Yep. Now you're speaking my terms.
I knew it. I knew it.
Little breakfast ball there for the kids. Alan Voss or Ferris? It looks like Alan Voss will be getting the victory. Where is Ferris's seeding number 9? So still has a potential. Actually, no, he would.
So we got 16.
Well, we're gonna take. We're gonna take 12. Right. So yeah, it's still again. We'll get to that, but again, we'll take 12 overall. And we'll see where he lands.
All right, now getting on the bottom one for this bracket, we got Adam Heischman and Brian
Hollywood Hop.
Yeah,
Hollywood Hop. This is again essentially a home track for him.
Right.
Brian Hop, Heischman. Brian Hop's got a lot of people cheering him on. I believe Chelsea Denofa's even spotting for him. Chelsea Denofa, former Formula Drift competitor and champion. Got Travis Reeder, he's up here spotting as well.
He's the champion in our hearts.
Give him the pizza, dude. Pizza boys. Did you know Travis Reeder, Chelsea, myself, and Kyle Cross have matching tattoos?
Yes.
Fun fact.
Sounded like a bar joke. Like we all walked into
we all walk into a tattoo bar. All right, here we go. Adam Heischman, Brian Hop. Heischman will lead. And Hop will give chase. There's the Mustang coming out. Now coming into, let's see those wall hugs. Does he hug? Yes, he does. A little smooch. Just a little kiss. Now coming to this big second outside zone. Wall hugs and riding the line as Hop keeps it consistent. Like to see him mimic that angle there. Now pass that inside clip. Hop. What happened there? Shuts her down out of that second. Hits that. I mean, was it a metal pole replacing the cone? Because it just came to a halt for Hop.
That was interesting.
Hop, pop, and locking.
Couldn't quite see that in live action. Hopefully we'll get some of that truth serum. See what happened here.
Here it is.
Heischman did a great job. I like his initiation. Little kiss of the wall there. And a good job by Hop here getting in that pocket. Both consistent here. Loses a little bit of the pressure in the chase position, but Heischman staying cool out in front. And Hop trying to keep that. Contact. Okay, so once that front tire hit, it was game over. And Heischman, like it never happened, finishes his run. Looking good, so
just from that angle, didn't see, you know, Brian's vehicle did not get disrupted, and Adam's car didn't get disrupted, but Brian Hop, from that overhead view, you saw the contact.
I'm telling you, those Mustangs are like tanks.
I know you're a big Mustang guy, but they do take a licking.
Keep on ticking.
Yep. All right, so now Hop out front, a mistake on his side. He really needs to throw down a sensational lead run. Hop, again, he might have listened to us, and I'm sure in his ear, Chelsea Denofa saying, hey, go full on, baby. You got to send it. Lick the stamp. So that second outside zone puts it exactly where it needs to be. And Heischman, look at that through motion, dips that tire, and he makes a mistake. Very comparable. Wow. So here we are. So now Hop continues out. We got that overhead shot. And Hop continues through the course, so both of them making mistakes in the same vicinity, not exactly the same spots, but Hop was too aggressive, and then we saw Heischman go off the course, so
one was definitely 100% incomplete, the other one to be determined. Let's take another look back at.
Let's see.
We got the fridge there lining him up for the finish.
Oh, he keeps it cool, baby.
Oh, yeah. Hopefully he can hear us. Anyway. Air Force replay from the sky. Look at these guys initiating. Could have been a little more pressure here from Heischman. He does a lot of sacrifice there, but does a good job in that transition right where he wants in that pocket. Puts on the pressure, maybe even a little contact. Not quite. You can see that.
Welcome to New Jersey. This is the gauntlet. The Crazy 8 is about to go down. Ryan Turk, he wants this. Right out of the gate, look at him pulling that front left wheel up. Frederick Osbo bathing in the smoke.
Everything felt awesome.
Forsberg initiates transition. Oh, Robbins goes hard into him, but Forsberg stays in it. Shanahan and Freddie, they bang doors, they bang back wheel. Whoa, buddy. Amanda Sorensen's doing it on her own. He's gonna try to bang the door of the three-time champ. Forsberg giving chase. Here's a little fire.
We're giving it our best, and yeah, delighted to be in the finals.
Finals are here. Send it! Your winner here at E-Town is James Dean. Your points leader gets the win. About to cook because we're in the South, baby. This is Road Atlanta, and this is round 2 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship. It's a little wet, but right now it's Osbo and Dean in the finals. Will they be in the same order as Long Beach? Freddie got first, Dean got second. Both these guys know how to drive in these slick conditions.
He's used to the ice. I'm pretty used to the rain, and it's going to be who makes the first mistake, I think. I just want to chase him hard. I'm sure he's going to give us a good lead. Yeah, and looking forward to it.
Who's going to come out on top?
This is it.
We're ready to send it, Atlanta!
Feels good to be back here. This is my favorite track, and I feel more ready than I ever have, even though we're making some big changes this year.
Who's coming out on top?
I am now an established, I don't want to say veteran of the sport, but I've been here a long time. But at the same time, I feel more poised and ready than ever. We hope and believe that we can continue that trajectory and really fight for the championship this year.
Into that third outside zone goes James Dean dialing in. Frederick Osbo, look at him diving in. Really good proximity. Man. James Dean, Frederick Osbo, great driving. That is hard to beat, dude. It's really tough. We're splitting hairs. We got it one more time. We got it one more time. They are going at it again.
Agreed. James is darn good. He has a really, really good initiation. We had some strong points as well. So now the goal is to clean up some of it and go at it again.
In the rain, who will reign supreme? Live around the world. Here we go. The one more time battle. Frederick Osbo, James Dean. Are we going to get a victor?
There's so much pressure. You know, the margins are this big, and you might go all the way or you might lose out or crash out immediately. Because we're there as gladiators, risking everything. And that sort of pressure, I love and hate.
Let's send it!
In motorsports, you're only as much worth as your last win, really. So why not just enjoy it and go drive your ass off?
This could be it.
Now they both know they got to be perfect.
Sure, there's a lot of great drivers out there, but we're pretty darn good too when we get it right. And I think if we can stay out of our own heads and go out there and stay hungry and keep pushing, we really don't have anything to lose.
Frederick Osbo applying the pressure consistently, not having it dart in. He keeps the same measured approach, brings it around that last, and look at that transition, just narrowly escaped. That was really, really good.
Everybody's pumped. Everybody is stoked on this crazy, crazy battle.
And we got a winner. Bring them on down. The plot thickens, and we are finding out that it was a split decision. They are going one more time. That has never happened before.
No,
I mean, as far as, the question is now, what is the variable that will get them the victory? So here we are with a second one more time between these two giants of the sport.
No matter what happens, there will be a winner, but make no mistake, we're not here fighting for second place finishes.
Here we go, another one more time battle. Frederick Osbo, James Dean, don't leave in the judges' hands. Bring the X Factor, bring the noise, bring the victory. Which side of it? The Rooster Tail off the back of the Supra and the Ford Mustang into that inside clip. Bring it a little wide there as Frederick Osbo now back up the hill. Snappy transition. The X Factor is what they're looking for. Into that second outside zone. Now bring it into the third outside zone.
Every single lap in the lead and in the chase, like Frederick was pushing the limits on entry. Then I was trying to return the favor, and it was just like bumper cars for a lot of those runs.
Both drivers, a couple of small mistakes here.
Sure, we're all big egos here. We all want to win. But I think all of us here can also enjoy watching someone else win when it's deserved.
Will we have a victor? Here we go. Send it for the last time. Coming past that inside clip for the second one more time. The third battle between these two guys. Frederick Osbo got the win in Long Beach. He got the win here last year. James Dean, the defending champion.
Honestly, I had no idea which way any of those three battles were going to go. In the last one, I tried to clean it up as best as I could.
Frederick Osbo hunts him down like a big game mantelpiece. Let's see if we're going to have a Mustang or a Supra hanging on the wall.
So close. How much more perfect do you need to be?
Make some noise for our gladiators here on Road Atlanta. And finally, your winner is James the Machine Dean gets the win. Frederick Osbo gets second and Odie Bakshis in third.
So here we are, second place, and we're off to a great start, and the goal is clear, 2025 champion.
Your winner here of round 2, the defending champion, James the Machine Dean.
Frederick, amazing driving, man. It's unbelievable every single time we battle. It's crazy. And yeah, see you in Orlando.
The Thunder, the Lightning, the Scorch. This is round 3 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship. Are you ready to meet your top 16 drivers? Pound your feet. Orlando, make some noise. This gentleman's in 9th grade, coming all the way from Japan. Injuku Racing, GT Radio, the youngest ever to podium. Make some noise. Hiroya Manoa.
The US style is very different in the Japanese style, so I tried the simulator.
He's won at the Japan most recently.
Yeah, he's so much more than just a young sim drifter. He is absolutely wild and the next great competitor.
He's got a lot of fans here cheering him on because he is Dominican's finest. He wants to get on the box here in Orlando. Jonathan Castro.
Oh, this season has been just awesome. Now we're here in Orlando, which is a track that we really love. It's a track that we really enjoy driving. We making some tests, some driving, and the car is just it's getting better every lap. Every lap is just getting faster and quicker and easier to drive.
So now the Utes, we got 15 and 21 years old. Hiro Manoa in that Injuku Racing, Jerry Young Racing, GT Radial, Connor Shanahan, the 86 of their very popular chassis. Connor Shanahan banging the door of the 15-year-old. Looked like he had to pedal back, but look, he is pushing it around.
Tandem was so good. The Connor Shanahan is, like absolutely insane.
Manoa, obviously phenomenal driver, but how many times has he dealt with a driver literally bullying him around track?
I saw he was coming super hard. Then I saw the replay and oh my gosh, I need to pushing super hard again.
Yes, sir! Hiro gives it back to Shanahan. He's right there. Yo! Come on, make some noise for Shanahan and Manoa.
That was a schoolyard brawl is what we just watched.
Give me your milk money. And Hiro Manoa gets the win. Dude, Hiro gave it back.
This round is always a crazy one. It's dry, it's wet, it's dry, it's wet again. It's very hot, it's very humid, but the fans are enduring everything, and we're trying to be out there and putting on the best show we can.
And now we are seeing Frederick Osbo and Hiro Manoa.
with the looming chance of rain, you never really know what you're gonna get. So some of the wildest events in FD history have been here in Orlando.
So here we go. Osmo will lead, Manoa giving chase. And now Frederick Osmo, big angle, he turns it up, man. He is not letting this 15-year-old bully him around at all, transitioning to that second inside clip. Hero drops back in, well done by Hero Manoa. Hero against the three-time champ. Flames are shooting at the backside of Frederick Osmo. The tire fire is on.
What a run from both these drivers.
This year is our first on the new Kenda tires, so we're collecting data with every track that we go to. Every lap you're out there, you're gambling a little bit. So I always make a plan, I always prep, but that can only take you so far. At some point, you got to react to what's happening, and that is the battle. That is the mental battle that's happening out on track.
Manoa gets the win! 15 years old, takes out our points leader.
That was, so good battle, and I have a good lead and good chase, and Osmo has also good lead and good chase. I'm so happy to get the win, and I cannot wait to drive in the Final Four, and this year I will get first place, Ichiban.
GT Radio. Experience ultra high performance.
These are my race treads for when the road ends.
These are my race treads for shredding the slopes.
These are my race treads for setting the hook.
Racetreads.com. Tires for every adventure.
Link ECU, let's get it.
We got the spiciest K-Series built.
Supercharged Ford Eliminator engine.
Oh, good old SR20 Blink monsoons. So rowdy.
Naturally aspirated, 1,000 horsepower, LS-based engine. And then we're going to add nitrous on top of it. Running an S54 controlled by Link ECU. Link direct injection EcoBoost Fox body.
I actually put an FA24 in it. E58, E46, Link ECU.
No matter what engine you have, it's a stock K24 or it's a 1,000-wheel 2J. Link ECU all day.
Looking for what comes next? For that moment when everything finally...
1 minute!
Whichever path you choose, it starts here.
Need a little help? We got help. Need some advice? We got advice. No matter what you need, we have thousands of professional parts people doing their part to make sure you have it. Exceptional customer service. Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. The professional parts people.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. BC Forged Wheels. Custom built per order, offering extensive design, finish, and machining options. Strength, style, and precision come standard. Track proven, street ready. BC Forged. Proud sponsor of Formula Drift 2025.
Look at this. It's a sold-out crowd. Formula Drift is back. Are you ready to meet your top 16? Make some noise!
I think the first round of the year is really all about getting back in the groove and hopefully coming out swinging, and we're trying to do that.
With the three-time Formula Drift champion, Frederick Osmo! Yes, sir.
There we go, Frederick Osbo, the hammer, being dropped.
We're here to have fun. We're here to put on a show, and we're trying to not pressure ourselves too much.
Kengushi trying to catch the Supra. These guys are going for it. And Frederick Osbo gets the win unanimously.
Are things dialed in for you?
The last battle with Ken felt great. Felt like I finally got the lead run down. I had a pretty solid chase on him. And I'm going to need everything I got now because I'm going up against Ryan next.
Here we go, Frederick Osbo. Right now, his bitter enemy, Ryan Turk. But Ryan Turk's going to fight for it. Lurking in the smoke, well done.
You're trying to have the fastest car out there so that you can keep up with the other guys and ideally run away from them a little bit.
Okay, here's the second half of this battle. Yes, sir. Here's a shovel. Can you dig it? 1, 2 outside zone.
We're always chasing these compromises of having really fast and competitive car that's also easy to drive. That's when you have the upper hand from a car point of view.
Slide him left for Osbo, and Frederick Osbo gets the win, narrowly nudging him out. Our final four is here. James Dean versus Adam LZ, Brandon Sorensen versus Frederick Osbo.
The competition is getting tougher and tougher, and this year it is absolutely true.
Right now, another veteran versus a rising young talent. Frederick Osbo gets all the way out there, so does Sorensen. He's in that pocket, he needs to mimic that angle, parallel, and he does.
We have some really talented drivers coming up for PROSPEC, so I think this is the season you want to win if you want to be the best.
James Dean waiting in the wings, trying to see who he's going against.
Brandon Sorensen, Air Force BMW, gets all the way out there. Frederick Osbo, look at that grip. Now in the chase position, that's where it really shines. Frederick Osbo, the rock star pilot, comes around in that final inside clip. They deserve to be here in the final four.
Yeah, agreed.
And here we go, slide him left for Frederick Osbo. Osbo gets the win, the Rockstar pilot. We know that Adam LZ is third place, but in the finals, James the Machine Dean, 4-time champion, going against this man, 3-time champion, Frederick Osbo, who's with Lorette Nickel.
So obviously we were trying to figure out how to bring it to the battle with James, and he's, as everyone can see, on point. The guy to beat out here. Excellent lead runs, excellent chase runs.
You ready for the battle at hand?
I was born ready.
Best of luck, Frederick.
7 championships between these two drivers. Here we go. James the Machine Dean out front, Frederick Osbo in the chase position. Look at the massive angle from James Dean. Frederick Osbo chases him down. Well done, gets into the pocket. James, massive angle.
What's it going to come down to?
It's going to come down to the nuances.
What we are looking at are the two most dominating drivers in drifting history, going head-to-head and trying to nudge each other and figure out the last 1%.
Oh, doctor! Split decision! They're going one more time! Gangsters, absolute warriors of Formula Drift. Look at James shaking up. This is a James we have not seen at all. James Dean transitions into that final inside clip. Round of applause of both of these champions. There is Freddie's team. Look at them. Come on.
Yeah.
Celebratory burnouts, are they? And now your winner, unanimously, Frederick, the Norwegian Hammer Osbo.
This is all the emotions. It's relief, it's excitement, it's happiness, it's joy. It takes a lot out of you mentally, and then you win. And you're like, did that just happen?
Without further ado, your winner, Frederick, the Norwegian Hammer Osbo!
If you win this one, you're usually on a good one for the rest of the season, and nothing's guaranteed, but taking out the rest of them today, it gives me a lot of confidence leading into the rest of the season.
Congratulations.
Well, welcome back. Unfortunately, the whole town and surrounding area lost power, so that means we were out of power. So very unfortunate turn of events. So thank you for your patience if you're just tuning in, or if if you haven't tuned in. Unfortunately, that again, the whole town lost power. So plugged in, doing things, running cords, running cables. So thank you for your patience. Thank you to Englishtown Raceway Park, E-Town for obviously getting that. But let's get back to it. So
yeah, let's.
Some things unfolding right before the power went out. We had a battle most recently between Heischman and Brian Hopp, and there they are in the burnout box. They had kind of double scenarios where it is a one more time battle. So they both get it a little cleaner, refine their runs, get it tight and right. Now, also, another person there, so Havoc will move on, so you can see the yellow name there. Boss will move on, and Shelly Hansen. So Shelly Hansen, if you can recall, again, if you're just tuning in, Carson Ruger straightens out, misses the wheel, punts Shelly Hansen, pushes her just enough off where the wheel digs into the dirt, flips her over, so it looked pretty sensational. She's okay, the car is not. Unable to be fixed. So elaborate, if you will, Sopa.
Yeah, so our competition director, Kevin Wells, has deemed it unfixable in like the amount of time that's realistic to get this going. Even with the power outage, we're just calling it there. It did a barrel roll there and, severe damage. Shelly's okay, which is the most important part, so I'm fairly certain that we'll have that car ready for St. Louis. So yeah, you can see the drivers there giving hugs. I mean, you never want to be the cause of that, but it was just so unforeseen.
Yep. Yeah, and Rome Charpentier actually was spotting for both of them, and so he came over. He's like, "Yep, this is what's going on." So here's the official rule: vehicle will be inspected by a competition director to verify whether or not it can be fixed. In a 10 automatic or +5 per driver, if not deemed fixable, wins that battle but does not compete in the next thing. So Shelly will advance on, which, interestingly enough, if she gets the car back together, she will compete tomorrow. So Shelly advances on, but not any further into today's seeding brackets.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So now let's go to the one more time battle: Heischman and Hopp.
And the winner of this battle will get a bye into.
Quick fast pass into the 4. Here we go. So the Wall Hugs Mustang going to this first outside zone. Little handbrake there, going to the first outside zone. Now transitioning into the long one. What kind of role does it play? Getting ice here, losing power, but not losing power in that second outside zone as Heischman, the Wall Hugs, again, Ford Mustang, now coming through that inside clip in that final outside zone, heavy into, that looked like, how did he salvage that? Yeah, threw it in and looked like it was going to go into the dirt and then respectfully the wall, but holds on to it.
Yeah, we kind of got a nice little flick of the wrist here as he enters it. Not as close as his last lead run, but he did a good job filling outer zone 1. Hopp kind of late to the game in that transition party as they get into outer zone 2. Heischman could add a little more angle there, I feel like. Big correction there in the chase position by Hopp as he tries to make his ground, and he does do that well as they get through inner clip there. And into 3, he throws in all the angle that Mustang, touches the outer paint, and pulls through. That was really well done, whether it was on accident, but he made it look good.
Yeah, that was very precarious. Hopp really struggling in that chase position. You could see him just kind of, goes into the outside zones and then falls down. So I think when he's got the clean air, again, a very sensational driver. We know what he's capable of. I'd love to see him rise to the occasion. But here we go. This one more time battle. Hopp initiates in Mr. Hollywood into that first outside zone. Now the big, massive second outside zone. And looks like Hopp does put the car in the right place. And Adam chasing him down, does just enough. You see him running over that inside clip. Heischman tries to throw it at in that last outside zone. So again, these guys really struggling in chase position, both of them.
Right. When we did get 2 complete runs, but they needed to clean some things up here. I felt Hopp could have been a little deeper in outer zone 1 compared to Adams as they come around here, and Adam did a good job of diving in there. But he just didn't gain the proximity, and you can see I thought he went off course there in live action, but it looks like he just had to kind of check up and never really made up for that mistake there as he takes out that inner clip, brings it around to outer zone 3. Hopp did a really good job of filling that outer zone 3 at first, and continuing through the finish line. You can see look at that angle there. That makes it look much more wild than it was live. It was really good from our lead driver there, Brian Hopp. And Adam kind of struggling the second half of this run here as he tries to gain some real estate against that S13 as they cut to Michael Weber here, the fridge, as we get the results from the judges.
There it is, Hop on the left, Heischman on the right. Take a look at our side-by-side instant replay. Casual Thursday. Taking a look at it again. Here we are. What stands out to you?
Yeah, you can see Hopper's kind of late to the party initiating and his delayed transition compared to Heischman there, but Heischman had a really good smooth outer zone too. Hop a little wavering there, but Hop really did kind of sacrifice a little angle there for proximity compared to Heischman, but I think Hop kind of outperformed him over Adam than in the chase position over Adam. I think their lead runs were very similar, little nitpicking here and there, but I think the chase is going to be the deciding factor here.
All right, waiting for the verdict here. Two very fun, dynamic drivers. These guys ripping it up. Had some great moments in those runs, but also some mistakes here and there, especially in that chase position. And if you want to advance on, if you want to get the victory, again, this is just advancement into tomorrow. If you move on to the 8, you are locked and loaded, and then another 4 pending on where you are in seeding here in the seeding brackets.
Yeah, it looks like Brian Hop is kind of on the bubble there with seeding in 12 position here, so kind of a big moment here. See if he's going to make it in the show.
Yeah. Talking to Chelsea Denofa, he's spotting for Brian Hop. Just getting some insight here. And waiting for the verdict from the judges, inputting that. Get the graphic going. Slide left for Heischman, right for Brian Hop, and Brian Hop gets 1 and 2. And it looks like Brian Hop gets the victory. So Brian Hop unanimously gets the win. So that will solidify into tomorrow's main event, and he will get the fast pass into the 4 as well because of Shelly Hansen unable to continue on. So he will advance on into the 4. So some mistakes here and there, and Heischman very well could advance on.
Yeah, he's number 5 there.
Number 5.
So I think he's
Dempster
safe.
And Colette. So yeah, more than likely, but we'll see. All right, so Dempster and Wills. Zero Chill Wills. He says, what's that?
That looks like DJ Stumpstead Ruth, I believe, because I just got a message here from Brian Wills. The slave cylinders out, and then Dempster had a transition stuck with Derek Madison.
Was that Stumpstead?
Yeah, so we got Stumpstead.
Oh, yeah, that's Stumpstead and Ruth.
Yeah.
So Stumpstead and Ruth here.
2 Z's.
Yep, 2 Z's. All right, here we go in that second outside zone. Whoa, buddy. Looking like getting aggressive there in the chase position, the 199. Now coming past that inside clip, exploding in. You know, these guys are chomping at the bit. They're like, basically like bucket Broncos waiting to go. They're in the stable, ready to throw down and then get iced due to the power outage.
Yeah, look at that. See, look at that. The tenacity from Ruth there in the chase position really showed here. He exceeded the lead car's angle there, but it kind of ended up being a little bit of a mistake as Stumpstead holding true in that black Z out front. A little too much there on the inner clip 1 as they get into outer zone 3. Ruth staying with it. It was a good battle, good job by both drivers in their responsibilities there.
All right, let's alternate the order here. Okay, now let's alternate the order. It looks like Ruth will be up front, and Stumpstead will be chasing him down. Here we go, initiating that first outside zone. Does come up a bit short here. Now transitioning to the second. Good composure there. You just look at the car, he's very settled. Good angle, consistent all the way through the 199. Past an inside clip. Good execution there. Now to that last outside zone, really riding that course's edge. That just looked hammered down, very consistent. Whoa! What?
Hello, hey, play nice.
What are you doing? All right, so we are hearing that Wills did call a competition timeout.
It's a moot point. Collision after course. Anyway, a little short there from the Ruth camp in outer zone 1 as we get in there, and Stubstad had a lot of corrections here. You can see him kind of stab the left foot brake, kind of upset the car in the chase position, and he was losing proximity to begin with, and is also sacrificing his line there. I really like Ruth's here. His angle, full matted through that outer zone 3. I really like what I saw there. Taking another look at Ruth out front. Look at that angle, just pouring out of the Z, but it's just a little too short in that outer zone 1. You can see Stubstad kind of making up some ground. Car, the front end, kind of hopping up and down, making it upset as he tries to make up that ground behind Justin Ruth as they ring out through that inner clip and back into outer zone 3. Lost in the smoke as Ruth finishes out, and you know, Z for Z, run for run. I feel it's pretty close. There were some little mistakes here when Stubstad's chase position in outer zone 2. I feel like Ruth probably had less. It was a little more smooth in both positions.
Like I said, I feel like there were two bulls just kind of sitting in the kennel, sitting in the pen, ready to go.
Yeah, you can see how DJ Stubstad did have better fillage of that outer zone 1, but you can see his lack in the chase here. And honestly, Ruth had, he did have the proximity, but the car was a lot smoother through that outer zone 2 in his chase position as they ring out outer zone 3, and Ruth's outer zone 3 was just cherry on top of his lead run. That was a good job. I really like the tenacity of that.
And the random love tap, we got word from a spotter. He says his clutch went out. So, but don't know if that impedes on the brakes.
On which car?
The Z.
Oh, okay. Z. Thank you.
No, I believe it was Stubstad. All right, waiting for the outcome of this battle. And taking a look. Looks like they've inputted their scores and waiting to see who will advance on into the Great 8. Remember, we have pro seating brackets as well after this. Don't know how much of a break we'll have in between, given that we did have that power outage and the delay. Here we go. Stubstad, slide him left. Ruth, slide him right. Looks like Stubstad will get the victory. Congratulations, DJ Stubstad. All right, so again, Stubstad rips it and grips it. Ruth. All right. Now it should be Colette Davis and Sam Magmumi. Both these guys in BMWs.
Yeah.
And let's see. Colette will be leading, and Magmumi will chase him down. All right. All right. Colette with that Fitment Industries BMW Magmumi. Built a couple BMWs over the years, and look at Colette Davis flirts with the wall, backs it into that first outside zone. Magmumi really needs to get on that horse as Colette really quickly through the course. Wow, look at that. Absolutely shredding into that first and only inside clip. Outside zone, I mean, man, Sam wasn't part of the equation at all. Colette flying through the course.
I mean, it's not like she was trying to run away from him either. There was a lot of angle, tons of smoke, tons of wheel speed just pouring out of that front BMW here. As we look through it, could have been a little deeper in that outer zone 1, but Sam Magmumi kind of threw away that opportunity here. He's cutting line to get proximity. But look at Colette. Also could have been a little deeper in outer zone 2. Does finish the course, or finish that outer zone a little deeper. Great car placement there in that inner clip as Sam's just not really putting on the pressure there as they should have in the chase position, unfortunately.
Well, if this is telling of what's going to happen in the second run, you know, Colette had a really dominant performance out front. Sam was trying to keep pace, just could not. I'm expecting and anticipating Colette to maybe nipping at the heels of Magmumi, but how much is too much?
Don't let us down.
Yeah, well, you know, sometimes you could just be eager and dialing it back sometimes where you make just those critical mistakes. And look at that, Colette takes an inside line. See, this is what I'm talking about. is exactly what I'm talking about. She just applied too much pressure, has to adapt, but doesn't do the cleanest adaptation of what she should have done. Now, Sam does go through the course.
And I wonder if that car
but also look at the lead run. So again, you can't have a good lead, or excuse me, a good chase unless you have a good lead run. So kind of want to analyze that. I was kind of anticipating that, so I was keeping an eye on that. Want to look at Sam's lead run. Where was he? Did he place the car?
I mean, he placed the car. It just seemed like he didn't have as much momentum going into everywhere else. And Colette, I'm not sure if she miscalculated that, but she did kind of make up for it in the last half of the run here, as she was almost off course. But Sam, I feel like he put the car where he needed to, and maybe it just wasn't the momentum that Colette was expecting. And that was another point with like our spotters here that maybe not have gotten translated. But hey, let's you know, use that tempo,
bring it back just a touch.
And yeah, she was just kind of almost like trying to fight the car back. The car seemed to want to go more forward than she wanted it to, and couldn't quite put the inputs in to achieve that, to put the car in the right position, in the chase position. So now that we got both runs under the belt, these drivers, let's see what the judges have to say.
All right, waiting for the verdict of Magmumi and Colette Davis, how they analyze this and break it down. Ooh, oh yeah.
You feel that?
Oh, aircon came on. Looks like we might have power in the building. That is ideal. Slide him left for Colette Davis, right for Magmumi, and Magmumi gets one. And one more time, and so split decision. So that will be a OMT for Magmumi, Colette Davis. So across the board, split decision.
Can we get some insight on that?
If we have a moment, Reese, can we wrap out with you regarding that, a split decision again? All right, thanks for the heads up. And we are finding out this will be a bye run for, Dempster. So this is a bye run for Dempster. Brian Wills, unfortunately,
lost his slate for his clutch, so hopefully he can find it. He is a number 15 seeded, so that'll be the end of his weekend, unfortunately. So Dempster proved that his car can at least drift the third of the course, and he'll be moving on to the top 8 in their seeding.
Yeah, and normally we want you to run the entirety of the course, but he might be having issues as well.
He does. I had a note here that he was having a transmission issue. Derek Madison is on his team. I think he only had third gear, and they don't have the gears that change in the quick change to get like the right ratios going. So just issues all the way around on that upper right corner of the bracket.
The elements maybe reaping. It's
power outages, gears going out,
pets' heads falling off, cats and dogs living together. All right. So right now it's Jerry Johnson and Ryan Kaufman.
Yes.
All right.
Hopefully, Kaufman had a little bit of a wreck here in practice, so hopefully he's got that thing dialed right back in that FC.
Yeah, let's
ready
see.
to party.
Here we go, advancing on into the 16. This is our seeding brackets. Seeding brackets continuing on. Dempster, so already in the 8. Havoc, you got Alan Boss. Hop will advance on to the 4, and right now it's Johnson and Kaufman. Johnson out front, Kaufman in chase position. Here goes Johnson in that first outside zone. Drops right in, no problem. Good fluidity there. Transitioning into the second outside zone. Just puts it right in there. Now that Taxi Garage FC in the chase position. And brings it on home. Taxi Garage customizers of crazy carts all across the country and the world.
Man, we can't hear it up in that booth, but that engine just screaming in there. Got like a NASCAR-esque into that thing, just 9,000 RPMs. But look at that. I really loved his initiation, but let's give it up to Kaufman here. Kind of putting the pressure on Johnson. Johnson is also putting the car where he needs to. You sacrificed a little angle there. I think you could have put a little more into the car there, but good job on both parties here. I think The only thing you can take away is in the chase position, I could have liked to see a little more proximity from the Kaufman camp. I like the angle
from the Kaufman camp.
Angle, momentum was really good on Johnson's part there in the lead position.
All right, Kaufman will lead. Brian, let's see what you got here. Again, that FC RX-7. Suffering for a good FC. Let's see, coming into that first outside zone. Dabbles with it, comes out of it. Then Johnson, ooh, look at that, drops into formation, comes out of it. Kaufman gets back into that second outside zone. As I said, Johnson, he would just kind of stab in and out. Now that last outside zone, bringing it across. Looked like Johnson was right there, just kind of trying to pounce, just kind of like a cat just playing with his toy there.
Yeah, that's kind of the attrition. I think. Hopefully his spotter told him, "Hey, we got to make it up in the chase." And he was lacking. Let's make an impression here. And he kind of started to in that thing in the outer zone 2. A little contact there really upset the car. Kaufman could have been a little deeper in outer zone 2, a little wavering in the lead position there as well. Did a good job of getting through that inner clip where we wanted him to be. Also could have been a little more deeper than 3. Johnson, much better proximity in the chase position, just wasn't as eloquent as Kaufman was, but Kaufman was also lacking the proximity that Johnson had in his chase. So look at that filter just hanging onto that thing, all glorious V8, carbureted.
Oh, yeah.
You got a 4-barrel.
Where's the
Tim
old
Allen?
School. Old school. Oh. Big, nice. That's an expensive intake right there. It's a beautiful looking filter. All right, sticking out, hanging out. See if continues on. Which one of these drivers, Johnson or Kaufman?
Judges are requesting a side-by-side, so we'll get the chance to look at that. BC Racing side-by-side. You can see I really like Johnson's aggression there in outer zone 1. Kaufman, you can see he was a little more shallow here, and Johnson's aggression here kind of was it was a little bit of a nail in the coffin there. Not the final nail, but he definitely made up for it in the last half here as Kaufman was still struggling to get that proximity. And Johnson did a great job in his lead. I think he had the edge in the lead. And besides that mistake, which is a pretty decent deficit in the chase position of Johnson, I think he had a better chase overall minus that mistake. So it's up to the judges to see if they can look past that. It's it's up to them.
Yep. Here we go. Verdict coming in. Johnson or Kaufman? Slide him left for Jerry Johnson. Johnson gets the win. Unfortunately, the FC of Kaufman and driver not moving on. Johnson will advance.
It looks like Kaufman was right on that bubble. He's 11th, so he will be partying tomorrow.
Yeah, for sure.
Fairly certain.
We have some in front of him, right?
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, so that's not.
It's not straight up, but
that is not.
Yeah.
We will see. Again, just unofficially. All right, there is the seeding bracket. Havoc versus Boss. And keep in mind, Hansen and Brian Hopp, we'll just cut that down to Hopp Lamazian to Brian Hopp. He will advance on into the 4. And then Dempster and Stubstad, obviously, in the 8. And then Johnson is going against either Colette Davis and Magmumi, who had a split decision across the board. One judge saying Sam, one saying Colette, the other saying one more time. So literally just all across the board. And could see.
We can see Colette hanging out there in grid right outside of our double burnout box. Doesn't look like Sam Magmumi is quite ready yet. They do get the length of a couple battles or 7 minutes when we don't have another battle to run.
Yeah.
Because we can't advance into the top 8 quite yet.
Oh, there it is, the Fitment BMW. And Colette was very transparent. She said, she put out I thought a very admirable video of just saying, look, man, wonder why I'm so sore, right? I think that's what did she say? She had a why
does my neck hurt?
Yeah, why is my neck hurt? Yeah, my neck is killing me. Must have slept on it weird. And then pilot reel, bam, jumping a Z, slammer BMW. You know, I've been saying Colette Davis' name for a while, you know, announcing Rallycross and a bunch of other stuff. So, yeah, she puts her cars and her body through the paces.
Yeah. All right, looks like they're warming up those GT radials, Jared, and we'll get this one more time rolling soon.
Last battle to find out who moves on to our seeding brackets in the Grade 8. Okay, so, oh, Dempster's out too, huh?
Yep, just got word. So
right.
Substat will have a fast pass to top 4 as well.
So, yeah, Substat will be in the 4. So, Substat will meet one of, oh no, actually either Johnson or one of these.
Yep, one of these Bimmers.
All right, so Colette Davis will lead. Sam Magmumi chasing him down. Chasing her down.
Yeah, let's clean it up, you know, get those first run jitters out.
Yeah.
A lot of new life.
All right, Colette, she was, again, if you can recall, she was ripping on that first run. See if she's going to do that again. Just puts that back left fitment wheel into that outside zone, now into that big second outside zone. So she's still got the juice. Look at that. Sam shallowing up. Yeah. Colette all the way out there. So Sam foregoing, kind of filling the zone and going for it. But Colette, yeah, really well done.
Yeah, the
great driving.
The contrast in the smoke being produced between those two cars is very vast. Like Colette's just ripping through that track, and Sam, I don't know if there's something wrong with him. I don't know. I haven't gotten any word, but the car just seems like it's under power. But Colette, similar to the first run, could have been a little deeper in the outer zone 1. Does a good job of getting into outer zone 2. Again, needed to be another wheel length deeper there to start with, but she does massage it in to be a little deeper. And Sam's trying to pour on the power of that BMW of his. In his chase position as he brings it around here through outer zone 3. Colette putting the car exactly where she needs to. It's very smooth, very good, and Sam just barely staying in frame here as we switch the cars around, switch rolls. Sam's going to get the clean air. Colette's going to give chase as Max gives him the light for run 2.
All right, Sam Magmumi out front, got the clean air. See if Colette learned a little bit as far as kind of just taking the composure. Yeah, bringing it back, down it back just a little bit to make sure and ensure she advances on. But Magmumi, look at him, puts the car in the right place. That second outside zone fills all of it, the entirety of it. Comes out a little bit early, but not too bad. Past that inside clip into this last outside zone. Magmumi kind of crawling at that last zone, but Colette kept her composure. So good driving on both sides. I think they both learned something after that first battle, forcing it to one more time because a split decision all across the board.
Yeah, Jared, I felt there's definitely a good learning lesson, a little new life for both drivers here. Yep. As like the flick of the wrist here, Sam did a little better job of filling that outer zone 1 over Colette. Colette makes up some ground here in that transition. It was a good attack there. Massages the car real nice, matching the angle. Sam, very little wavering out front there, but like you said, he doesn't have as much momentum as Colette did in her lead position, but that doesn't mean that it's not a bad lead run. Like, he's given a really good lead run for Colette to give chase to. So
okay, who's it going to be?
I can't.
Do you have the? Is it going either way?
It's yeah. It's
you got a
probably
winner,
going to be
you
BMW.
Yeah, okay.
All right. You don't like playing your own game?
All right, here we go. Magmumi or Colette. Oh, roll the tape again.
Side by side.
Oh, man, the plot thickens.
Very similar proximity here, but what I liked was Colette's aggressiveness there in the transition, really diving into that pocket soon. You can see how far off Sam Magmumi had to sacrifice not only the angle, but the line to get that proximity, and I think that's going to give Colette the advantage here. Look at how much closer she is in that zone 3. Very good job, in my most humble opinion. So we'll see if the judges agree or not.
Over here talking the Nat boys. All right, here we go. Look at that. Look at all that tire, all that substance. All right, so Colette Davis gets the victory. Colette advances on. Magmumi knocked out, but again, that does not mean that he is out of competition. We will we'll see where he lands, but it's about the other folks where they seated.
Right.
All right. So, in the 8, You got Havoc and Boss. They will see battle. Shelly Hansen and Hop.
But just Hop.
But it'll just be Hop moving on to the 4. It was supposed to be Dempster and Stubstad, but unfortunately Dempster's out, so Stubstad will advance to the 4. And most recently, Colette Davis will go against Jerry Johnson in the 8. All right.
It looks like they're lined up already, Jared. Just getting
Nice.
this beautiful view here of.
Okay, so there it is. You can see Hansen and Hop, but again, that'll be Hop advancing on that bottom left, and then Stubstad will advance on that top right. So Havoc and Boss. Here we go. Havoc, that's start initiating into that first outside zone, drops it right in that S13 non-stop tuning vehicle. Whoa! And Boss yeet once again into the wall, and that was very reminiscent of what we saw with Karsten Ruger earlier.
He's still driving.
And he, oh wow, he brought it back out on track. Oh boy, please don't have fluids.
Yeah.
Please don't have fluids on the track. What? Please. Okay, hopefully bash bar, just cosmetic. Let's take a look.
Jeez, OP, that
Wow.
wheel's ready to come off.
Yeah.
Look at that flick though from Havoc. That was
gangster.
one of my favorite entries all day so far. Boss doing a great job. Looked like maybe it just locked up and he's at the car zig when he wanted to zag. Let Havoc have the track all by himself as we get to watch him go here. Look at that angle he poured to that outer zone. One is a good transition here, but look at Alan Boss locking up the brakes, avoiding a collision, but I don't think it was definitely an independent incident on that chase position of Alan Boss that caused him to, I'm not sure why, maybe rack over centered, who knows, but it definitely upset the car enough to plow into the wall.
Yep, looks like he's backing off.
So,
And
yeah.
Boss, yep.
Boss is going to take a 5.
Boss hits the benches real quick to find out what's going on with the car.
Have him check it out. Now, remember, with these seating brackets, the drivers do get a competition timeout for each day.
Yep.
So you
yeah,
can use it today. You'll have another one if you're in the competition the next.
Right. All right, this will be a bye run. All right. So this will be a bye run. We'll lay out and listen with Mr. Brian Hop. Hop will advance on to go against Havoc or Boss. So jumping up to the start out line, and he will advance on. We will be seeing him in competition. So let's see.
He's got to be feeling pretty good about that in his home turf.
Yeah, what's up, brother? Brother. All right. Let's lay out and listen. Brian Hop here at E-Town, advancing on into the Final Four. Right now, we are hearing that Boss is out. He will be in competition tomorrow, but right now, as far as the seating brackets go, he is out. So Havoc will take his bye run, and he'll be going against Hop in the Final Four. So 3 points earned for every win here in the pre-seating bracket. So that's right. Good opportunity for them. And here we go, a bye run for Havoc. All right, as we continue the action, I'm going to throw a headset on a special guest, come around here. And there's a fun one. We go way back to like Tuesday, I think it was. I think it was like a Tuesday that we met many moons ago. Joey Logano.
A lot of Tuesdays ago.
Yeah.
Many of them. But yeah, glad to be here. I get the, I've watched this stuff plenty of times, and Pocono's not that far up the road from here, and we're racing there this weekend, and I heard you guys will be here at Formula Drift.
Stoked you're here.
I want to see it live.
This is a chill. This is like casual Thursday. Like there's casual Friday, then there's casual Thursday now, because this is seating brackets, the format, seating brackets. But what do you make? This is the first ever purpose-built Drift Coliseum.
Yeah. Well, when you say casual, I just watched one nose it into the wall over there. Okay, so somebody is not feeling too casual right now.
Well, you're in jeans. You look great. You got a Stars and Stripes belt.
I'm enjoying the moment
Yeah.
right now. I've learned a lot about the scoring system, and James Dean and RTR boys, they were downstairs teaching me about all the little details of where you place your car, how you place it, what looks the best, and how you do it. And I learned about the cars earlier, which was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Just the details of the setups, and you kind of geek out over the cars. I don't know. That's just me. That's
Well,
who I
no,
am,
absolutely. That's in
fun.
your blood. I was saying, hey, Joey's gonna come, and he is like, I've seen you and your dad. Your dad's a pirate. I'm just gonna call it what it is. And so the apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
Sure.
And I think you learned a little bit of your panache. I can't wait to see what kind of crazy maniacal vehicles you're gonna own, because you already have a crazy collection. But your dad. That alludes to kind of some insanity in your garage as well.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
He's a trucker. He likes the old trucks the most. So it works out good.
He exploded the one we were at that Snap-on shoot. Remember that?
You just oil down the whole track with that truck.
Yeah. Hey, so Pocono, you got a race this weekend. That's why you're out here. How's the season going so far?
Up and down. We're 9th in points, which is not where we want to be or expect to be honest with you. But, few races to go before the playoff starts.
Yeah.
So we can kind of seed ourselves a little bit better by, maybe getting a couple more wins before then, or kind of working our way up through the point system. And then when the playoffs start, right, it's 10 weeks of all out, everything you got to go for the championship. So we're not in a bad spot in any way. So I feel good about our season so far. We'll be okay.
It's fun. It's great to see. Again, I love where NASCAR's at. It's not just going left. You got road race. You got the Chicago race downtown, 4th of July weekend. That's going to be awesome.
That's just coming up soon.
Yep.
And we get to do a bunch of different things, right? And it's just like Formula Drift. You go to a different track every week, and it changes everything up. Right? The speed, the bumps, the texture of the racetrack, all the stuff that I was learning about today. You learn, the same thing.
I'm going to walk you through this run. Here's Colette Davis as Colette goes in, and we got Jerry Johnson. Jerry Johnson chased him down. Colette Davis into the second big outside zone, filling all of it. Good composure there. You can see the attitude of the car. Nice and settled. Johnson just tucking right in the pocket. Good smoke coming off the car. Past an inside clip in his last outside zone 3. Johnson on the attack. Colette Davis puts the car in the right place. That was probably the cleanest run we've seen so far with the right amount of aggression. Car placement by Colette Davis out front. Johnson just tucked into that pocket. Joey, watching this, again, the composure. As I say, NASCAR is more chess than it is checkers. People think you just got to jump over things, but you guys are sliding in the pocket. This is familiar territory for somebody like you.
I mean, it is, but it's also so different. Just what is considered the best, right? Like for us, we don't want to put our car sideways. We see that and we're like, oh gosh, like that's not fast, right? But for Formula Drift, that is what it is. And to see how close they are there, how technical they are, the challenge I think is just as hard.
Yeah.
It's just a completely opposite way of doing it, right? Like as I've learned to drift and do different things, Vaughn was teaching me a lot when I first started, and when he'd say something, I was like, but that's backwards.
Yeah,
but that's how it has to be.
You're losing grip. All right, it looks like a cone was hit, but that's no big deal because I believe that was a chase car. So here goes Johnson out front, the 97, into that second outside zone. Colette Davis needs to play catch-up here. Gets finally into that second outside zone, that big, almost 180-degree turn. Now past that inside clip. Johnson passed it. Colette as well. Now that last outside zone, very precarious, diving in, but then has to just good composure there. So now we have a verdict. 1,000 horsepower on average of these vehicles. Now keep in mind, this is spec, so all the same size tire. In the pro category, your weight dictates the width of the tire. On average, 1,000 horsepower. Is that something that excites you? You're like, holy cow, that much? Because like you said, it's sideways. Wheel speed might be 160 miles per hour, but actual speed of the car, a little bit slower. So take a look at it again. But
and this track, from what I've heard, is probably not the fastest of tracks that you guys go to, but you can tell they're right on the edge of catastrophe, right? You see that dirt. When you get that dirt too much, it's going to take off on you. But it is, you know, it's art, right? Like I look at this, I go, but this is just like an amazing talent to have, an amazing skill set to try to learn.
Yeah.
And it's artistic, right? Like it's so different than what we do in NASCAR and racing. That's what attracts me to it.
Yeah.
Because I've been doing that for so long.
Exactly.
Right? And
what everybody did in their high school parking lot.
That. Yeah, but like, yeah, this is exactly what you did growing up, and now like there's a sport, which makes it even better.
Car placement, the refinement of the vehicles, and that's what I like about it. And I'm stoked you're here because I think that just adds another credibility. You know, at SEMA show, it's like side so. You talk to Jim Farley, drifting is part of the conversation. It's not a side deal. You talk to Farley, it's like, we're going to Dakar, we're going to Le Mans. Of course we're going NASCAR. And look, NASCAR is going to Le Mans. You know, and then like, I mean, you gotta love this. So I think it's great. Do you know who won there in that situation?
If there's something you can win,
What's
that's
that?
what we want to do.
Checkered
right?
flags, baby.
If there's something you can win. You can win this. You can win anything. You want to do that.
When did they start racing? When they built the second car.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Do you think you know who won there? Was it the pink BMW or the?
I gotta say Jerry Johnson won that one.
Nice, good
and
call.
I'd say the judges agree.
Inside job.
I'd say it was on the. I think he followed really well.
He did
on the first run.
Good call there.
I thought.
I think you know what, Joey? Just you don't need to go to
Pocono.
Pocono. Just stick around.
I could be a judge.
You're always judging. Let's be quite honest. You're always judging, Joey.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Look at that. He just turned around and said, "Here, you do it."
ready to give it up.
Does everybody hate the judges?
Vegas
Is that
in
how
the
that
building.
works? Is it like a no-win situation for you guys?
You know, that is the most thankless job in Formula Drift
I
is
would
the
think
judges.
so. That's a tough
because
to
you're either a best friend or you're an enemy.
Right.
And you're an enemy to everybody except one at the end of every event.
Exactly.
And it's the winner. And that's it. So very thankless job.
But it's a tough job, though. When you think about like, because you're like, everything is in their hands, right? And it has to be
fate.
You know, their fate, is in their hands.
Well, Joe, I won't take up any more of your time, dude. I really appreciate you just even coming by and checking us out. Good luck at Pocono this weekend. And,
Absolutely. I'm not leaving. I'm just going to be around.
Okay, well, you be around.
Yeah,
grab a beer. You're not racing today.
I'm enjoying this.
Go grab a beer.
I may do that.
How's the kids?
They're all here.
Oh, they're all here?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, the one that got Formula Drift. They're downstairs.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was like, dude, you gotta meet Joey's wife. She's a pirate too. She'll wind Joey up. I love your wife.
She's the instigator.
She's absolutely the instigator.
Yeah, she gets in the passenger seat. She's like, you want to do that? I'm like, oh, yeah, I will. Watch this.
Yeah. She's like the diesel engine, and then here's a spark. Here's the. All right, Joey's up.
Here we go.
Yo, always love seeing you, man. Thank you so
very much. Good stuff.
Joey Logano, 3-time NASCAR champ, an absolute legend. I mean, love this dude. Have seen him go sideways, and I'd love to see you go sideways too, Joey.
I would love to do it.
All right. Well,
definitely, maybe. This could happen.
We'll make some calls. We'll call Vaughn. We'll get Jimmy. We'll get, I said Jimmy like Jim Farley. Jimmy Farley. Jimmy Farley.
Buddy Jimmy.
Right, get out of here. Get out of here.
Let's go before I get in trouble.
All right, here we go. Jace Havoc. All right, we got Havoc and Hop, which sounds like, again, a lawyer firm here. Havoc and Hop, your defense lawyers. As Havoc goes in the second outside zone, Hop hops his way to the side of Havoc in that second. Oh, look at three-wheel motion like a rap video, going and exiting out, slamming into the wall. This is more demolition derby than it is. Look, he's going to take that home as a souvenir. Coming and bringing around that last outside zone. All right, so there it is. We'll bring you back in here, Sopa. Here, get over here, Sopa. Let's grab a photo. Get on in here, kiddo. Hey, there it is. And Matt, go ahead and elaborate on what went down here, if you will. Take a look.
Yeah, we had a little contact there at the beginning of right there, actually. It's Hop telling Havoc, hey, I'm still here. There's another one as they hit that wall and they get through interclip one a little aggressively. It looked like Havoc was kind of running away from there. And it kind of bit him in the butt there as he kind of got really shallow in outer zone 3. But Hop stuck it with him. So we're going to reverse the roles here, and Hop is going to take the lead, the clean air, with Havoc in the chase in our top 4.
All right, let's see the second half of this battle. We got Brian Hop. Havoc will be leading, or excuse me, chasing him down. We got, again, Hop. These guys both getting really crazy here on that first run.
Yeah, speaking of Rubbins racing, that Hop was just on top of Havoc.
Yeah, it was, this is just seeding brackets.
Yeah.
Harness some of that energy going into tomorrow's main event. But I like that because we know what Hop is capable of. Seems like he's just kind of battling his own inner demons because we know he's a good driver. I mean, he knows he knows this track very well, because you got to keep in mind, E-Town has their Gambler events that are so exciting, and they're really good. Again, talking to Nate Chen earlier in the pits, you know, they had the one at the road course. They have the events here, so you know they know this course.
Just got to iron out some wrinkles. It's his freshman year PROSPEC, so there's a lot to learn, a lot of logistics going on, and it's always that game of inches in the head that comes into play. So you know your car well, and sometimes you can just you know, be your own worst enemy.
Yep. All right, so Hop, like you said, ironing it out. Let's get that thing on steam. Get out all those wrinkles. Here we go. Brian Hop out front, Havoc in that chase position. Good initiation. Yes, sir. That's exactly where you want to place that car. Havoc maybe a little bit phased there in that chase position. Hop riding the lightning. Well done there. You can see him just placing the car. I mean, just the attitude of the car. Very settled, calm. You said working out the wrinkles. He is definitely, that is smooth like butter, baby. That is an absolute glass on a lake.
That is what the judges want.
That was a powder run.
Yeah.
Right? That was really well done, dude. That was really well done.
I mean, just the fact that
did you see in his cockpit, he was giving himself an applause.
Yeah, but look at the zone village here. As Havoc does a good job of getting that transition, but he's still trying to put on the pressure here, sacrifice a little angle, but Hop, smooth as butter through that outer zone too as he pours on. You can see him add more angle and does it really well getting through that inner clip there and gets into outer zone 3 just beautifully. The car is both tires fully in that zone. Havoc trying to play a little bit of a game of catch up and doing a good job of it, but he just could not close that gap as much as I'm sure he wanted to. So now we got Hopman and Havoc there down to the finish. We'll see what the judges think about that. But Hop, yeah, we're just talking about, you know, how much hours and time he's got into driving this track, and he finally stepped up and showed us how it was done. All right, we got our BC Racing custom coilover side by side. You can see Havoc. They're very similar initiation, but you can see the aggression here from Hop. Now this is where his mistakes kind of might, you know, bite him as far as the judge's decision. He's making some contact, pushing the lead car actually out of its line there. So that is going to be a little bit of deficit on Hop in his chase position. But Havoc was also not as present, not as aggressive, but he didn't create any contact that led to a lead driver mistake like Hoppin did for Havoc. So all things considered, that's going to be a tough call.
Hop and Havoc. It's like Turner and Hooch. I love the ampersand in the middle. Like there's some names that just flow really well. Hop and Havoc is one of them for sure. And it's Hoplamazian. We just shut it down to, you know, Hoplamazian and Havoc.
Hop and Havoc.
Hop and Havoc.
Your accident attorneys.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Hop and Havoc got me $5 million.
It's my money and I need it now.
Waiting for the verdict here to go to the finals. Again, Final Four right now. And Davis and Johnson. It was Johnson that advances on, so it'll be Johnson versus Stubstad on the other side of our PROSPEC seating brackets.
Yeah, speaking of NASCAR, like Johnson's got the NASCAR name, he's got the NASCAR motor,
the number,
and you ever see his rig that he's pulling? He's got a cab over like Peterbilt.
Really?
It's amazing.
I mean, I got to think that Johnson's, you know, Jerry's going to be super stoked that Joey was checking out his car and he was like in the booth while he's running. That's got to be.
And he thought he was going to win.
Unless he's not a fan of Joey, he just might just be like, why is Joey talking? I don't like Joey. He might just be, you know, just saying. He's like, why is that guy talking when I'm running?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I actually hate Joey Logano. Like, that'd be funny.
Four guys.
You know, it's like, and I love that. Like in motorsports, we get so committed to somebody, and you're like, why do you not like him? I don't know. I just don't like I'm not a fan of yellow. You know, that could be something so simple, right? But look at this. The plot thickens here. Hop and Havoc still waiting. And you called it. There were some points of interest.
I kind of glazed over that that aggression from Hop in that chase position kind of pushed Havoc off a line and forced him to make that mistake. So all things considered, I think if they do consider that, I'd probably see it one more time out of this if I was to see the magic 8-ball.
Yeah. Confucius say. There's the old school 8-ball. Talking about the
yeah.
Okay. Those are fun. You can't shake them
When's
up.
the
They
last
get
time you
bubbles.
saw one?
I have one. All right, Chase Havoc and Brian Hop. One more time, man.
One more time.
You called it.
Yeah, thank you.
8-ball sopa over here.
No, don't say that.
That sounds suspect. That sounds really bad.
We were talking about Columbia earlier.
My gosh. I was talking about the Mattel Magic 8-ball. So yeah, I do have one. It's a because Mattel makes that, which is part of the Hot Wheels family.
Oh, right.
And they did a
Makes
collab with Stussy, the brand. So yeah.
Maybe we should just ask again later.
Yeah.
Is that one of those options on that thing?
All right, going back, or no, sorry, going to the other side. This is Stubstad and Johnson.
Yep, talking about
DJ Stubstad.
DJ Stubstad, ripping the hits from the 80s, 90s, and today.
DJ Stubstad. Rocking all day from Oakland, California, from the Bay all the way to the East Coast. DJ Stubstad. Handlebars are going fars with DJ Stubstad. Got the flow to make it glow. What do we got?
Actually got that.
You tripping if you ain't tipping. Look at the battle of the stashes, dude. Johnson and Stubstad.
I'm telling you this.
Brother, here we go. Johnson versus Stubstad. We driving Nissan and Toyotas or ripping Harleys down the road. The 97 ripping with the big box.
Hello.
Oh, boy, Stubstad. DJ makes the record skip. Slams into Johnson. And it didn't look like Johnson impeded on the line. It looked like Stubstad maybe just got a little too aggressive.
Big time. Yeah, that's we're running back. There's just too much aggression.
Not slapping the base, but slapping the Z.
I felt like once he was way too far forward in that pocket, he could have corrected that, but you never know in that moment to what can happen. So he had a good transition here, good dive, but it just missed time. Oh, and looks like he probably broke a tie rod there of Jerry Johnson's Z, but no, it's still running straight. So in that case, just at face value, we can kind of see that Stubstad was at fault there.
Yep.
So that'll give Johnson 10 minutes to fix his car, and if
it's broken,
or Johnson
ain't broken.
I guess not.
It ain't broken, this dude. It's merely a flesh wound. I'll bite your ankles. Yeah, well done.
I stand corrected. That wheel, like when it hit it, it was
bouncing, yeah. Right? Okay, maybe.
Yikes. All right. Well, you do you.
Yeah. Here we go. So Stubstad will be out front now. Johnson in the chase position.
Oh, looks like Max is going to do a little trackside repair, probably throw a zip tie or two on that bumper of Johnson's.
That's a cat on the roof.
That is a kitty cat, yeah. There's like 9 of them on there. Like
oh, are there?
Big cat people.
Oh, aren't they? Yeah, they have like a ton of cats.
Yeah.
That's right. I talked to Jerry's wife. She's like, yeah, big cat folks. Talked to my man Cerrone downstairs. He's cat dad.
Cat dad.
Yeah, he's a photographer.
Yeah, look at all them.
Oh, that's a lot of cats. What's new, pussycat? Whoa. Here we go. All right, we're shredding bumpers. Let's see what we got.
Got the fridge down there doing some light work.
Let's wrangle on in. What a zany start to PROSPEC, our seating brackets.
It kind of, yeah, like you said, it kind of gets you excited for the main bracket. Like we're seeing some attrition here, seeing some wrinkles ironed out, seeing some standout performances, and we have another half of a field to throw in the mix tomorrow.
Oh yeah. Well, not only that, but also tonight. I mean, let's just call it what it is. Tonight we got our pro seating brackets.
That's right.
And I'm seeing little percentage of precipitation and lightning. So
stop it. Stop it.
The plot thickens. So stay tuned, everybody. It's live from Town. All right, so
almost lights out.
Let's see who's moving on to the final. Stubstad, Johnson. Stubstad out front. Pulled down a little bit there. Stubstad rips it into that first outside zone, hits it and quits it. And Johnson, Stubstad very shallow in that second outside zone. You got to think Johnson did not complete it because Stubstad, again, at my first glance, it looked like Stubstad. Oh boy, Johnson shuts it down. He straightens out.
Should have taken that free 10. I don't know.
All right, these guys, like I said, looking more demolition derby And Formula Drift. Formula Thrash and Bash.
Stumpstead. Little shallow there in AutoZone 1. Johnson coming around, trying to put the pressure on Stumpstead. Still needs to get that car a little more outside. He does do that in AutoZone 2 towards the end. And Johnson there still playing game of catch-up, trying to close that gap. Does a great job of transitioning. Gets out of the pocket, straightens the car. Whether that's going to be deemed an incomplete or not is to be determined. But the judges will have a decision for us either way. Cars out of the.
They're out of the cars. They're
look at that mullets, mustaches, carburetors.
Yeah, look, shake it out. Shake out the stash. Shake out the.
Where's the food?
Yeah, where's the. All right. Oh, we got a little tire fire.
Scorch was last round, guys. Come on.
Right. That's normally you down there, spraying it down like a panicked. Right.
Remember that Bonds video?
Never forget.
Yeah.
Right. Is that what you're talking about?
He's like, "Vaughn, get out!"
Here we go. Johnson and Stubbstad. Slide him left or one more time.
One more
OMT.
time.
Oh boy, guys.
Killing us.
Let's get a verdict here. All right. Uno Moss. He says,
Stubbstad's like, huh?
Run it again. Yeah, get back in the car. Let's light it up. All right. When we come back, we'll do it again like it never happened. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here at E-Town. Final four still not set. The finals not set, or the Final Four set, just the finals. When we come back here to E-Town.
GT Radio. Experience ultra high performance.
These are my race treads for when the road ends.
These are my race treads for shredding the slopes.
These are my race treads for setting the hook.
Racetreads.com. Tires for every adventure.
Link ECU, let's get it. We got the spiciest K-Series built.
Supercharged Ford Eliminator engine.
Oh, good old SR20. Blink monsoons. So rowdy.
Naturally aspirated, 1,000 horsepower, LS-based engine. And then we're going to add nitrous on top of it. Running an S54 controlled by Link ECU. Link direct injection EcoBoost Fox body.
I actually put an FA24 in it. B58, E46, Link ECU.
No matter what engine you have, it's a stock K24 or it's a 1,000-wheel 2J, Link ECU all day.
Looking for what comes next? For that moment when everything finally...
1 minute!
Whichever path you choose, it starts here.
Need a little help? We got help. Need some advice? We got advice. No matter what you need, we have thousands of professional parts people doing their part to make sure you have it. Exceptional customer service. Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. The professional parts people.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
BC Forged Wheels, custom built per order, offering extensive design, finish, and machining options. Strength, style, and precision come standard. Track proven, street ready. BC Forged, proud sponsor of Formula Drift 2025.
We are back, and the Final Four is upon us. The Grade 8 playing host to Round 2 of the PROSPEC Championship, and of course, Round 4 of the Pro Championship, the Gauntlet here at E-Town, Englishtown Raceway Park, simply known as E-Town. We had our final 4 set. Unfortunately, both going one more time.
That's right.
Right. But we're gonna run it like it never happened.
I'm sure. Yep. I was just gonna say we're gonna see Hop and Havoc, your attorneys at law, here in the burnout box first. Look at that synchronized figure 8s here. Let's
see if they're in synchronization on track.
Yeah, if they could do this faster, closer. Mint.
And without a retaining wall, in a glass box of emotion.
You make me remove that wall. You make me. All right. Yeah, so Havoc's gonna give lead first, I believe. Looking at the numbers here. And Hop is gonna give chase. Max is gonna chop him off.
We still don't have the official verdict. Where are you going there, Hop?
That's fine. That's fine.
Okay. All right. Hey,
That's
star
too
guy.
legit to quit. All right.
MC Hammer Hop. MC Hop Hammer.
But to explain those lines, the chase driver has to be within that line, and
right?
And the lead line.
Thank you, starter. The official formula of starter. Here we go. Now we got Havoc out front, Hop in the chase position. Non-stop tuning S13 goes that first outside zone, just flirts with that line. Needs to get a little deeper there to really just seal the deal. Hop, big correction there. And shout on that second outside zone. Warrants it. Oh, get in the dust, get in the dirt, straightens out. Now that is going to probably advance, or not advance, but give the advantage to Hop in this scenario, because Havoc made that massive mistake in that second outside zone. Got in the dirt, straightened out, even though Hops was lackluster.
Doesn't matter.
Very shout, doesn't matter. Havoc threw it away.
He balled it up, threw it out the window of that S13, Jared, as the at the end of outer zone 2. That was definitely three off, and he stopped, of course. So kind of shallow here, a little left foot braking here. You can see Hop doing a great job in the transition, but then it kind of fell apart for him as Havoc was doing great. And look, Hop was kind of struggling to close the door, and then he got bit by that dirt bug and just shut it down. I don't know if there was a failure there. He is off track right now as we speak, but if the car shut down, but that was just very unusual to even just have one tire off and then stop drifting. So it looks like he pulled back up to the line. Max is giving a little once over here before we send him off again on run 2. Hop's gonna get the clean air, as we like to say, and Havoc's gonna give chase.
He's got a Beyonce fan.
Just a couple 240s having fun on a Thursday.
Just 240s on a Thursday at E-Town. Give me a...
Forget about it.
Dude, give me a... What do they got at Wawa, Reese? The sandwich, the breakfast sandwich? Let me get a pork roll. Yeah, there we go.
Oh,
pork roll tomorrow. Oh, whoa.
Contact.
What?
Oh, restart.
Oh, we got to restart.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, a pork roll at Wawa with a jug of sweet tea. Dude, look at Reese knows what I'm talking about. What? Pork roll. Yeah, with ketchup.
What?
Yeah, oh yeah, ketchup on that thing? Yeah. I put ketchup on it. Pork roll, egg, and cheese.
Do you put egg? Do you put ketchup on your eggs?
I do.
Okay.
I put ketchup on my eggs.
I did too when I was growing up.
Slight shade right there. I'm a ketchup. You know who I learned it from? My grandpa, who fought in World War II. Put some respect on it.
Oh, here we go.
I mean, at the end of the day, ketchup's salt and sugar.
It is.
It's basically what it is in economy.
Vinegar and tomato mixed.
Yeah, I'm a ketchup on everything guy.
That's okay. As long as it's not steaks.
No, yeah.
You're doing that, you're in trouble.
I went to a really nice pizza spot. I'm like, do you have any ranch? Here we go, DJ. All right, so this is Hop out front and Havoc in the chase position. All right, we're having a lot of fun here, but Hop throws it in, and he's having fun as well. Like you said, a couple 240s hanging on E-Town. This is legendary stuff. Hop throws it sideways. If he keeps it within the lines, keeps the rubber meets the road, he could have the advancement here going to the finals. Looks like Hop is just coagulating nicely and bringing it on home. Looks like he's going to be seeing the finals.
That's enough to do it.
Not the prettiest there on that last outside zone, but I think he has confidence in his corner, and he's got a champion in his ear, Chelsea Denova in his ear, guiding him to the light.
Like, who's that guy? But I really like his initiation. There was a really good entry there in outer zone 1. As Havoc kind of fell apart here. He needed to put on the pressure, and he just couldn't quite close the door here on Hop, as he does a great job. Really smooth here through outer zone 2, a little away from inner clip 1, but that is quite all right as he finishes out this run, and Havoc has nothing to chew on anymore as he finishes the run. And all sources say, I think we're going to see who the winner is. And after Havoc's mistake there in the lead position, huge deficit. So I think we know which way it's going to go.
I think it's going to be hop-tastic. We'll see. Again, this is points gained Another 3 points as you advance on. And it looks like Havoc or Hop. And there's a 1 vote for Hop, 2 votes for Hop. And it is unanimous. Hop gets the win.
Hop is in the finals for our ProSpec Round 2 Englishtown seeding bracket. He's going to go up against DJ Stubstad or Jerry Johnson, who also had one more time in our Final Four.
All right. So moving on to the other side.
They're warming up their tires already. They're ready to rip Van Winkle here through here.
The other side of the Final Four bracket. And let's see who advances on. And Stubstad and Johnson, these guys, another one more time battle. Let's see who's going against Hop.
For not only bragging rights, Jared, but a few extra points.
Yeah, that's really, like you said, it could really come down to that.
Yeah, kind of incentivize the seeding bracket here. It's a little change from last year.
Yeah, absolutely. Johnson and Stubstad. Let's see if he could poke his way into the finals like that air cleaner out the hood. At 97 to 86, a lot of numbers going down, but he wants to be #1 here today. Again, bragging rights and points richer. Johnson, Stubstad, his team tucked in, doesn't mimic the angle there, does have good proximity. Now in past that inside clip, that last outside zone, flirting with the dirt. But Stubstad, like I said, he's nosing in, but isn't mimicking that angle. You just need to knock it back just a touch.
If he could mimic the smoothness that Jerry had in that lead run, that would have been really sweet. But he did a good job. I like his proximity here, but I also really like Johnson's initiation here. Filling out that zone really well. He's on the gas here. He's on the gas early, like the judges wanted in that outer zone too, as we extended the beginning of it. But you can see Stubstad sacrificing a little bit of angle. He is also gaining proximity because of that, but also is doing a really good job of transitioning there. Still a little bump, a couple bumps there through the finish line from Stubstad to Johnson there as they finished that run. But Johnson didn't seem to care as he finished out that glorious lead run.
Okay. Some hardcore fans showing up here on Thursday. Just again, casual Thursday. Blowing it out. Who's going against Hop? I have a feeling Stubstad's gonna. He's chomping at the bit. You know, you saw him outside of the car. Both these guys, you could see their energy. They're ready to go.
They got that mullet energy.
Dude, big mullet energy. BME.
Well, I'm not sure if Johnson has one, but
Johnson does not.
They got the mustache.
He is tightly shrewd, but the handlebars run deep.
Well, they're running. Oh, restart.
I told you. Just that nervous energy. He's like just eager beaver. Eager beaver.
All right, Max is going to line him back up here. He's going to let DJ know what went wrong there. 9 times out of 10 a restart happens. It's either a cone or he jumped the line. It's hardly ever sleeping.
Yeah, jumping the lights. So I feel like we would see that more. Right? I feel like we'd see that more because you're just like anxious. You're ready to go. Here we go. Stubstad out front. Initiates across the nose of Johnson. A good tempered approach by Stubstad. Johnson reels it back in. He lets it transition in front of him. Now that the second outside zone. That's just such a massive zone. And now past the inside clip, bringing on home is Stubstad. Ooh, Stubstad comes at an angle a little bit, but Johnson still applying the pressure. That was
Johnson.
That was good composure.
I felt like once he locked that thing in outer zone 2, he found his groove in that chase position and had very little corrections. I really liked that chase from Johnson. That was good. Let's check it out. There's a little hairy there as they initiate. It looked like Johnson kind of struggled to get some proximity there, but look at there. Once he locks that car in, he's matching the angle, getting the proximity, putting that that 86 right where he wants it to as they go through interclip 1, takes it out. Stubstad brings it around. Johnson just always either bettering We're matching the angle of the lead car all day, and that's really what's the standout that I'm seeing from this driver. You can see it there. He's even initiating before the lead driver. How many times do you see that?
Right.
But he showed up in that chase position. Substance putting the car where he wants to. We're getting that good canvas for the chase driver to paint that run on for his efforts here as they get in hour zone 3. Good job on both parties. DJ needed a little more, I don't know, flair on his lead run, but I think Jerry Johnson's going to get this one.
Stubstad might have the mullet energy, but Johnson's got that cat energy. That gets it done there. The J2, Jerry Johnson going to the finals against Brian Hopp. So again, our pre-seeding brackets, our PROSPEC seeding brackets, excuse me. Taking a look at the schedule. Local time 6 p.m. And we're scheduled to go till 6, so we're almost back on schedule because we'll see pro warm-up from 6:15 to 7:45. So they have about an hour and a half after this, and then our live stream pro goes on just before 8 o'clock. So surprisingly, even with the power outage, if you're just tuning in, we had a power outage earlier, and it wasn't just E-Town, it was the whole town around it.
The town.
The town. the whole town lost power, and we were out for, that was a good 30 minutes. It was
at least.
Yeah, it was a good amount of time. So again, thank you to E-Town and Andy and the team. Thank you to Ryan Sage. Keep it calm, man. So, but just want to reiterate, should be just a little behind schedule, but if we get Brian Hopp and Jerry Johnson up to the line, we should be good to go. And if we get a verdict, so when we come back, the finals here for our Link Engine Management PROSPEC seating bracket. All right, so again, we will try to do a quick turn and get back on schedule with our pro seating bracket. When we come back, don't go anywhere. E-Town, party continues here in the Garden State.
Let's get it.
We got the spiciest K-Series built.
Supercharged Ford Eliminator engine.
Oh, good old SR20 Blink Monsoons. So rowdy.
Naturally aspirated, 1,000 horsepower, LS-based engine, and then we're going to add nitrous on top of it. Running an S54 controlled by Link ECU. Link direct injection EcoBoost Fox body.
I actually put an FA24 in it. B58, E46, Link ECU.
No matter what engine you have, it's stock K24 or it's a 1,000 wheel 2J. Link ECU all day.
These are my race treads for going the distance.
Racetreads.com. Tires for every adventure.
GT Radio. Experience ultra high performance.
The Thunder, the Lightning, the Scorch. This is round 3 of the Formula Drift Pro Championship. Are you ready to meet your top 16 drivers? Pound your feet. Orlando, make some noise. This gentleman's in 9th grade, coming all the way from Japan in Juku Racing, GT Radio, the youngest ever to podium. Make some noise. Hiroya Manoa.
The US style is very, very different in the Japanese side, so I tried the simulator.
He's won at FD Japan most recently.
Yeah, he's so much more than just a young sim drifter. He is absolutely wild and the next great competitor.
He's got a lot of fans here cheering him on because he is Dominican's finest. He wants to get on the box here in Orlando. Jonathan Castro.
Well, this season has been just awesome. Now we're here in Orlando, which is a track that we really love. It's a track that we really enjoy driving. We make some tests, some driving, and the car is just it's getting better every lap. Every lap is just getting faster and quicker and easier to drive.
So now the Utes, we got 15 and 21 years old. Hiro Manoa in that Ajuka Racing, Jerry Young Racing, GT Radial, Connor Shanahan, the 86 of their very popular chassis. Connor Shanahan banging the door of the 15-year-old. Looked like he had a... And we are back. Our Link Engine Management ProSpec seating bracket. These guys are in it to win it, talking about tomorrow in the main competition. And Jerry Johnson and Brian Hopp. Who's going to get the overall victory? And who is also going to be 3 points richer, which sounds like a little, but it can be a lot. That could decide his championship. We talked about earlier, a refined, concentrated 4 rounds for a championship. Ooh, big initiative. Wow, Johnson going for it. Brother, you can't win in seeding, but he is going like this is the finals of tomorrow. So maybe save a little in the tank, but Johnson throws it down for his town. Well done. The Cat Daddy right now puts it into that last outside zone, unharnessed right now. That was sick.
Yes,
dude,
sir.
He just cranked some catnip and threw it down.
I think Hop was just shook.
Hop was like, what are you doing?
What do I do with this? Look, even the judges are smiling laughing. Look at this, do a whip on this. I was like, I thought he was going to hit the wall. But Hop actually was right there with him until he transitioned a little late there. That was the crux of his situation here in the chase position. But look at Jerry. He's always full of angle. When that car gets set up, he's got it just dialed in so he actually keeps his momentum at those extreme angles and filling the zone, just doing everything he needs to do in that lead position. Hop was still right there with him, so commend him on that, but he did sacrifice a little bit of angle and that mistake in the chase position. So, Hop, let's step it up, buddy. This is your track, your town. Let's see what you got.
Right. All right, Brian Hop. Hop-lamazian.
Lights out.
We'll see if he's Hop-amazing right now. Jerry Johnson.
Don't hit.
Oh, we got
God. Come on, guys.
Nikes. Holy cow.
Yeah, that's why you don't hit the brakes. Dang it. I saw him hit the cone, and then the restart lights is what they see to know that there's a restart, and you should coast to a stop instead of slamming on the brakes. I know it's kind of a reactive thing, but now we got a situation here where the run, it's going to be up to their, of course, competition director and race control here, but contact after the restart light, will they get a couple of free fives?
You called it. Don't hit the brakes.
Yeah, just let go.
Let it roll.
Let Jesus take the wheel.
Wrong wheel.
Something.
Wrong wheel, Jesus. Oh, man.
Oh, okay. Did a little bunny hop there on Hop's S13.
Yeah, Jerry might not have seen the light past that air filter.
Probably not. Look how low he sits in that thing.
Right. All right, he's checking alignment here. Maybe
he's going to pull Chelsea Denofa here with the fender. Or
yeah,
what?
just slap that fender bumper into the wall and see if it flies off.
Now we'll delete that at the start line if it comes to it.
All right, this was the restart here. Watch. So
you can see the cone hit there on the bottom. I was like, all right, Eagle Eye Sopa's on it.
Oh, wow. Humble, too.
Yep.
Bang. Yeah, Hop was like, he was shimming all over. Jared
I think he was
anywhere.
like ready to do that momentum thing. Now, this is another thing that we haven't discussed is let's say it wasn't a restart.
Yeah.
Lead driver can't be impeded by the chase driver on their up. They're supposed to go nose to tail. So whether they're like Hop was, he's allowed to use that track. He paid for all of it. So yeah, another thing to consider. So I don't, we'll ask race control, see what's going on here.
Yep.
Get an official word on what the ruling is. Looks like they're both going back to their pits. Maybe
we
they're
were one half
courtesy
away
fives.
from being completed and almost back on schedule. All right, we get, again, this is
so yeah,
the verdicteers both get complimentary 5-minute allotment.
Right. So
to
you
get
can see
hands
the
on
cone
the
hit
vehicle.
there in the chicane. He's thinking about initiating, so you really can't. I can see why they went that way. There's no way that with a car and that air filter in his way he could see the restart lights, but he also shouldn't have been there to begin with if he went too far. But that's the risk you take. They have the gambler here, and they were talking about that in the driver's meeting. Sometimes you take a gamble in the chase position if you're going to line up side by side with the lead driver, and that's where another important part of the spotter's position is
snake eyes.
You got to know what that lead driver is for your chase driver if you're in that position, what they're going to do, what their pattern has been.
Yep.
To kind of anticipate that so you can take that risk.
Risk it for the biscuit. All right, there's the strobes. All right, so again, short break here, contact. Houston, we do have a problem. Or New Jersey, we've got a small problem, but if there's a problem, I'll solve it. We'll be right back here to E-Town for the finals in our seeding brackets.
And here it is. The party continues. We have an action-packed opening ceremony.
What's really cool about this event, since we have so much history, we've started the Formula Drift Hall of Fame, and now we're going outside of the grid. Larry Chen is getting nominated and inducted into the Hall of Fame. How cool is that? Congratulations, Larry Chen. We're gonna rap out with him too. It's pretty sick.
Today is a pretty special day. Today we are inducting the first ever non-driver to the Hall of Fame. Say hello to the 2025 Formula Drift Hall of Fame inductee, Larry Chen.
Dude, congrats. Not only on a great event, but just overall, tight pass, night lights. You're a non-driver in the Hall of Fame.
My loyalty is to Formula Drift. It's my home. I started back here in 2006, the first Formula Drift Long Beach, and then 127 events later, I'm here. My life's work is to basically show off the beauty and absolute destruction and the skill and the precision, all of that, through my lens.
You're living your life at shutter speed, baby. Congratulations, dude. Love you, Larry.
Love you too.
All right, with that being said, we'll send it. Next stop, Atlanta.
Look how bland this thing is.
Look at that. Kiss the ring.
He's the first one.
Kiss the ring.
First one to kiss it.
Kiss the ring.
I love it.
That ring's bigger than you.
We'll see you online or we'll see you another time. We will send it.
GT Radio. Experience ultra high performance.
These are my race treads for when the road ends.
These are my race treads for shredding the slopes.
These are my race treads for setting the hook.
Racetreads.com. Tires for every adventure.
Link ECU, let's get it.
We got the spiciest K-Series built.
Supercharged Ford Eliminator engine.
Oh, good old SR20 Blink monsoons. So rowdy.
Naturally aspirated, 1,000 horsepower, LS-based engine, and then we're going to add nitrous on top of it. Running an S54 controlled by Link ECU. Link direct injection EcoBoost Fox body.
I actually put an F824 in it. B58, E46, Link ECU.
No matter what engine you have, it's stock K24 or it's a 1,000 wheel 2J. Link ECU all day.
Looking for what comes next? For that moment when everything finally...
1 minute!
Whichever path you choose, it starts here.
Need a little help? We got help. Need some advice? We got advice. No matter what you need, we have thousands of professional parts people doing their part to make sure you have it. Exceptional customer service. Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. The professional parts people.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Okay, the second half of our final battle was intended to go down. We saw some contact between Hop and Johnson, and now here it is. So Hop will lead, Johnson giving chase, and the sky was all purple. There were people running everywhere. It's actually dark gray, and nobody's going anywhere, but threatening of some weather. We'll see if we get any. Looks a little sketch here.
Yeah,
but
Hop
will lead, yeah.
That lead run from Johnson we just saw before that mishap was wild.
Well, it was Hop leading and Johnson got on the side of him.
No, well, yeah, but I mean,
yes. Johnson's actual first lead run was very cool, very dynamic, really awesome.
Hello.
And Hop, man, looks like he responds with a great line there. Hop puts it right in that 7 outside zone on rails. Johnson tucks in, goes past that inside flip bolt, unscathed. Now coming out last outside zone. Hop gets in the dirt and Flirt throws up the brown roost in that last outside zone.
There we go, victory. Or I mean, not a victory, but
is that victory?
Celebration. Celebration.
Wow. A little premature
donut.
celebration there for Johnson. All right, let's take a look.
He was definitely stepping up. He's like, all right, I see you, Johnson. As he goes he kind of pulls the angle out of the car, but Johnson, once he gets that car set, he is a threat in that chase position. You can tell here, just about matching the angle. Hop did a great job through outer zone 2. Car's looking smooth. Great position there on the inner clip. Johnson dives in just a little too deep on that pocket, but then you can see the dirt flying from the Hop camp as he finishes out outer zone 3. So we got an unanimous decision.
All right. Well, there they are. And they are down on the ground. And the weather's it's just hanging out. We're intended to see the pro seating brackets right now. We're going to announce them right there. The fridge. Michael, what are you doing? We're going to call them right there. Where are you sending them?
Don't leave your post, Mike. Okay.
Are they clearing the track?
No, look, I think they're going to do the normal.
Oh, it looks like they are bringing them over to the middle of the track.
It's a little communication breakdown, but all right.
Okay, and all right, little celebratory birdies, and we will clear the track as soon as we get our winner. Some good driving here in PROSPEC, like I said. Unfortunate with the power outage, but we got some more power. We brought it back on.
Yeah, they had I wouldn't say an excessive display of power, but it was quite the show for seating. Great way to start the weekend, Jared.
It really was. A lot of fun there in PROSPEC. You know, we gained momentum. Some great driving here, and you know, Brian Hopp found his sweet spot, so I think he gained some confidence here going into tomorrow. Johnson, amazing
out of the woodwork
progression. Yeah, just all right. Without further ado, let's announce our winner here. ProSpec seating brackets. Again, casual Thursday, high fives and handshakes across the ride. Your winner here in seating brackets is unanimously Mr. Jerry Johnson. Johnson gets the win. These guys are too busy chatting, but Johnson gets the win overall unanimously. Don't even think you heard it. Johnson, you got the win. Congratulations.
There it is.
These guys are too busy chatting, having a good time. They just want to thrash and bash some more. Everybody's a winner, including you, Matt Sopa.
Stop it.
Taking a look at it again. So it was unanimous. Johnson over Brian Hopp. And that is a wrap on our seating brackets.
All right.
As, you know, again, the clouds got much darker. The lights are on. Pro warm-up in just a little bit, and we should be back on track, hopefully, later on. All right, ProSpec will be at 8 p.m. So 8 p.m., ProSpec live stream. So just Pro
warm-up is, yeah.
Our pro seating brackets will be at 8 p.m. All right, so here in just a few different things there, but congratulations to Johnson. Matt, thank you so much.
Oh, of course.
See you here tomorrow. You'll be up
Let me
here in
think
the booth.
about it. Sure.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And you're going to make your way down to the line, back to the starting line. But the gauntlet continues here again, 8 p.m. local time, 6:25. So do the math, an hour and 35 minutes. We'll be back here for round 4 of the Pro Championship, but this is seating brackets to decide who moves on. 20 is pre-seated drivers. The remaining drivers, 12, will be filled up with the remaining spots. Don't go anywhere. We'll come back again about an hour and 35 minutes. Thank you, Matt Sopa.
You're welcome.
And we'll be bringing in Mr. Jacob Getz later on this evening.